In the wild western wastelands of the Great White North, two gay lefty scumbags embark on an endless pursuit for the true meaning of wokeness. This is Woke in the West. Merry Christmas!
And Happy New Year!
It's time!
Oh my God. No, Mariah.
That wasn't nearly high enough to be
That was
Mariah.
pretty good, though.
Yeah,
It was pretty good. Okay, God. Welcome
I
back
messed it up already.
to Woke in the West. It is
Yes.
episode 14.
It is a Crimbus episode.
Yeah,
kinda,
this is
sorta.
kind of coming out pre-Christmas.
Are we gonna be able to sneak one more in before Christmas?
I doubt
know.
it. So this
I
is
don't know.
probably like it's weird because it's December 10th right now, but to record the end of the year episode
Mhm.
today,
Yeah, we'll probably have one more, like right at the end. Of
we
the
might
year,
have a
maybe.
recording session and then it'll get posted like
early January.
yeah, like January 1st or 2nd or something. Who knows? But in case we don't see you,
we're actually
Happy
gonna
Hanukkah.
We're actually going to be moving soon, my mother and I, into a new apartment. So our New Year's episode might be the last one until the last one in this place, quite possibly.
Maybe though
Until
you
we,
haven't been given the notice yet.
No, not yet. Our
So-
building's not quite ready yet, but
I
the other two are.
I wouldn't count your chickens.
Mhm.
Let them roost where they are right now. You can kick them out when they get the notice.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on in the Great White North. What's this all about?
Well,
here?
we're starting close to home with this. It's
BC
some
conservatives.
BC news. Yes, you might recall we had an election.
Oh yeah, earlier this year, right? Yeah.
The BC one was at the end of last year.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That was different.
And that was a tight race between the NDP, of course, who maintained their dominance for the third consecutive election,
Just
and
barely.
the Conservatives, who were really, really close, nipping on their heels in second place. But much like the federal Conservatives, which are a complete disaster right now, adrift without any clear direction, the BC Conservatives have yet to really figure out who they are.
I don't know. Who am I?
I mean, we already saw the identity crisis unfold in the lead up towards this election in BC, because, of course, it was the evolution of BC Liberals to BC United.
We had the BC
to
Liberals,
BC Conservative,
which were like definitely not liberals. They were just using the name.
and that was who was the dominant conservative coded party in BC for the last like 2 decades.
That was Christy Clark's party.
But now that's all fallen apart, and I believe that in this article we have pulled up from CBC, that John Rustad has officially resigned as leader of the BC Conservative Party, which is a role that he kind of like stumbled into because I think he was the head of the BC Liberal Party previously at one point or something. Like he has quite a storied history,
Which again, for our listeners that don't know, was still a very conservative party. Don't let the name fool you.
Yes, exactly.
The BC Liberals were very conservative.
Rustad is just kind of a fart of a politician who attempted to.
I recognize the name. I've definitely seen him.
Yeah,
pop up
well, he
before.
was party leader, and he has been floating around sort of the Christy Clark circles. And for people that are listeners that are not residents of British Columbia, Christy Clark is our like 10-year BC Liberal conservative Margaret Thatcher light that dominated British Columbia for my entire.
She was the premier
youth.
for a very large chunk of my life, at least.
Yeah,
and I definitely heard this guy's name even back then.
Yeah,
Running around
he's
in her
been kicking
circles.
around the government.
John Rustad has announced he will step aside as leader of the BC Conservative Party.
With Trevor Halford, MLA for Surrey White Rock, stepping up as interim party leader.
Oh, this is interesting. At a news conference this morning, Rustad said he didn't want to risk civil war in the party and asked British Columbians to get behind the next leader of the Conservatives. He probably saw what was happening at the federal level. He saw
He's not
circus.
popular either. There's been Conservatives in BC that have walked, remember? There's already multiple fracturing parties. So when he's talking about, risking a civil war, like he's kind of waving the flag as the bullets have already started to fly. Like he's trying to get out of the way of the cannon fire that's already started. The crossfire has begun.
Aisha Esty, president of the BC Conservative Party, said she expects a leadership election in January. Wow, so we're saddled with
Trevor Halford, whoever the hell that is.
From Surrey White Rock.
Yay.
So there's EB, David EB saying like, "See ya, wouldn't want to be a."
Basically, yeah. While John and I disagreed strongly on many things, I have great respect for his commitment to public service and for speaking. Yeah, it's just the same fucking vanilla.
Wish his wife the best.
Yeah, good job. Why is there so many postscripts to this fucking article? Jesus. You just couldn't wait to get your thoughts out?
No, I know. The journalists need to fill their time with something.
This isn't a Twitter thread.
Yeah, it
Jesus
is.
Christ. Premier won't speak today, blah, blah, blah. This crazy bitch. 1 BC later. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. She's the queen racist.
Who is Trevor Halford? Okay, who the hell is this guy? Surrey White Rock, elected in 2020. It's part of the BC Liberals. Wow, the BC Liberals were still around
in 2020.
Wow. It seems like so long ago now.
I know.
and
he switched to the BC Conservatives in 24.
Mm-hmm.
After the rebranded Liberal Party, BC United, was effectively shut down by then leader Kevin Falcon.
Yeah, that shit was dead in the water.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Falcon came and went pretty quick.
A member of Christy Clark's communications team, chief of staff for cabinet members.
Oh, so he's a Christy Clark staffer too.
Yeah, he's a Christy Clark alumni. Yay.
Great. Meanwhile, in next door, Alberta, Danielle Smith becomes the first premier in 90 years to face a citizen recall.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
After she specifically lowered the barrier for people to get signatures to get certain, measures put on the ballot. It's very funny to see it now catch up to her.
Yep, it's biting her in the ass.
Smith and 2 more of her United Conservative Party caucus members saw recall campaigns officially approved and launched Wednesday by Elections Alberta. In total, 20 of the 47-member UCP caucus are facing recall petitions. A formal signature gathering drive has also been launched against one opposition NDP member, Amanda Chapman.
Heather Van Snick?
Van Snick.
That's your name? Seriously?
In her application, Van Snick writes that Smith has been ignoring local constituents and experts in developing policies.
Effective leadership requires genuine connection and consistent engagement, both absent in her tenure, Van Snick wrote.
Van Snick also said Smith needs to go because of the premier has been weakening public services in favor of privatization. Well, yeah, that's kind of the thing in Alberta, isn't it?
Conservatives generally will privatize
do.
Service, yeah.
Smith, in a statement to Elections Alberta in response to the petition, denied ignoring local voices.
I regularly make myself available to meet with constituents, and I routinely host town halls across my riding, Smith said. I'm proud to serve the people of Brooks Medicine Hat, and I use the feedback I hear from all of you to help inform all decisions, big or small, that our government makes.
The premier was scheduled to hold a news conference later Wednesday.
Out of Alberta's 19 premiers, only Smith and social credit leader William Aberhart have faced a recall petition. Their scenarios are similar despite being decades apart. Aberhart's party campaigned on, and after winning government, passed in 1936 the Legislative Assembly Recall Act to hold representatives accountable between elections. A year later, it was turned on Aberhart by members of his Okotoks High River constituency, unhappy with what they called failed promises, mainly around monetary reform. See, I told you, just like it came back to bite her in the butt, the guy who put it on the books also got it, played against him. That's incredible. The only 2 times in history it's come up has been when the premiers themselves are like, what if we made it easier for you to, unseat politicians? And the people are like, okay, what about you?
Yeah. See, this is why conservatives tend to not do anything. Because when they do, it comes back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, that's actually kind of incredible. Canadians are smarter.
Whoa, we could actually get rid of these assholes? Whoa.
Yeah, and they made it so much easier, too. They're like, we made it easier to get rid of our opponents, but then when they have enough power to do this, they have already removed their opponents, so the people are only looking at them as the elite.
Yeah.
So, womp womp.
Oh, we got some news out of England.
Well, yes, I mean, it is in the Canadian section because it's relevant to Canadian visitors to the UK. But it is news out of London.
From Global News, November 27th, UK to start enforcing new travel permit rules for Canadian visitors. Oh, what is this? Canadians will not be able to legally enter the United Kingdom without a travel permit starting next February or face being denied boarding. Oh, you got a permit to get into the UK, mate? The British government says Canadian travelers will need to apply and pay for an electronic travel authorization, ETA, to visit the European country as of February 25th. Yeah, estimated time of arrival, never. These ETA obligations for Canadians originally came into place earlier this year, blah, blah, blah. The UK government says the rules were not strictly enforced to give visitors ample time to adjust to the new requirement.
ETAs are not travel visas, but are for passport holders who do not need a UK travel visa. The ETAs will allow visitors to travel to the UK on a short-term basis for up to 6 months. And the important part, that these digital permissions cost approximately £16 or 30 Canadian dollars, and Canadians can apply online. So
you have to pay.
It's some bullshit thing that we have to pay for. So, hey, it's a great opportunity for me to look at dead in the camera and say, if we have to pay to enter the UK, then we should leave the Commonwealth.
Yeah, right.
What the hell
is this
are we
shit?
getting out of this relationship now?
We're supposed to be one of you guys. We're supposed to be like your little brother.
No, you have to pay £15 on app to get in.
Have to pay to visit the family.
You have to pay 15 British pounds to get into the country.
We're supposed to be part of the crown.
No, this is hogwash. Hog swallow, even.
Yeah, hog swallow.
Yeah, it's just some. It's literally, I hate to say this and put it like this because it makes me sound like one of those, like, you know, right-wing conspiracy lunatic people, but it's like, this is literally tech, like, infiltration bullshit, micromanagement, government overtaxation, like, find other ways to generate revenue, guys. This is so pathetic.
ETAs are also better for travellers. Digitising the immigration system ensures the millions of people we welcome to the UK every year enjoy a more seamless travel experience,
said British Migration and Citizen Minister Mike Tapp. What a British name.
See,
but it's like, that would be great if we didn't have to pay $30.
Yeah, see, like the digitizing the immigration system ensures what? That you have to pay less border agents to stand there and, like, you know, put people through? Like, what are you talking about digitizing? Like, what good is that actually doing? It makes me think of, like, you know, when supermarkets started to, like, bring in the self-checkout lanes. It's like, okay, so as a consumer, you're supposed to believe, you know, that the costs of a grocery store are towards, like, you know, the merchandise, the retail space, the rent, and employees. But when a computer takes the step of the employees away, and so there are less employees, but the prices of things don't go down, or you're now being hit with new charges, you just have to wonder, at least whether it's from a consumer perspective, and I guess you'd consider your position as a traveler, having to pay 16 freaking British pounds to get into the UK.
That's not every time, is it? Is it a one-time thing, or do you have to pay every single time you go
for
in?
a 6-month?
Oh, it expires, and you have to renew
exactly.
it. Of course.
So it's just more added bullshit.
It's a subscription fee to enter the UK.
Yeah, it is the in-shitification of UK travel. Now you have to pay for the privilege of not seeing the sun.
Yeah. Different rules for dual citizens. These ETA rules do not apply for Canadians with dual British citizenship.
Yeah, well, no,
thank God. Mike Myers is fine. Oh, he's okay.
Yeah,
he's safe. Thank God.
Could you imagine if dual citizens
holding my breath.
To? God. Yeah, they have a certificate of entitlement because they're such a whiny bitch.
Entitlement.
They're whiny British. British. It's not coming out
British
right.
Citizen. British citizen. British citizen, British citizen, British citizen, British citizen, British citizen, British citizen, British citizen.
Yeah.
Harry.
No, that makes me so mad though, because like Canada's relationship with the UK is terrible. Like I think that we need someone with like a level of like disdain for the Canadian system to enter the politics of this country, like not as a conservative, but as like a far left, like shit post, burn everything down.
Like we're supposed to be like the last remnants of your former glory, and this is how you treat us. Like if you look at the list of the Commonwealth now, like it's nothing. It's like
it's hardly
a couple
worth
islands,
maintaining. And if
Canada's like I don't mean to toot our own horn or anything, but Canada is like easily the biggest one.
If we're being charged to enter the
and this is how you fucking screw us, man?
No way, man. That's
Jesus
not cool.
Christ.
This has to be an election issue.
Yeah. Fuck you, Charlie.
Yeah, fuck Chuck, man.
Fuck you, Chuck. Anyway, what is this? Some guy,
someone
else resigned. Oh, shit.
Yeah, this is a resignation from the cabinet. So this is not an MLA resigning and leaving office. This is just Stephen Guilbeault, French last name, announcing on X, this afternoon, I informed the Prime Minister of my decision to resign as Minister of Canadian Identity and Culture, Minister responsible for official languages, and Minister of Nature and Parks Canada, as well as his lieutenant in Quebec. And so he did this. You don't need to read the statement. It's not that super duper important. You can
summarize it for me.
But this guy resigned largely in protest for the new pipeline that Carney has sort of started to push through. We've talked about that before, but news really just started to break about this. There's a really good, and we did this in one earlier episode, but where we talked about like political content that we like to watch. So for this segment, rather than
yeah, there's a train outside.
Yeah, speaking of Canadian resources being moved around. So instead of boring you to death with talk of how the pipeline stuff is or isn't working, I'd recommend everyone to please check out the YouTube channel, The Goose. They just did a really good video, not just on the Alberta separatism being like a American PSYOP fake funded operation with no real support in this country, but how the pipeline that Carney is pushing through right now currently has no buyers. No one is actually interested in doing it. And even though he has given the full green light to blast through Native and Indigenous communities, which is why Stephen Guilbeault or whatever is resigning, because he's upset as the representative for Indigenous Canadians that Carney is doing this.
Yeah. He doesn't even have like approval of a plan for a pipeline.
It's just like to say,
so they're
like,
just fucking up the Indigenous lands just because they can.
Yeah, it's essentially like Carney's made this big announcement with a blank check, but the check is not the only thing that's blank. The name on the check is also blank. And in order to accept the blank check, you have to take on a lot of responsibility. And while the government fully supports any large corporation's right as a corporation to destroy Indigenous land, and the government of Canada fully supports that, by the way. I don't think we'll get in trouble for saying that. The Canadian government 110% supports big business and the right of big business to exploit Indigenous land. The government of Canada can't do it because then we have to, make a national day and say a bunch of apologies to the natives that we continue to abuse and,
but
disrespect.
Private companies
but
can
private
totally
companies
still do it.
Can do it without feeling guilt.
They
because
found the
they
loophole.
Are not people.
They found the loophole. Hey, man, corporations are people.
Well,
that's
what
they say in
soulless,
America.
it's a faceless corporation, but it doesn't mean it can't take the hits. Put it out in front of you. Big corporate shield. Yeah, you can get away with anything.
Corporate lawyers.
So I guess good for Steve Guilbeault from one of the last of the Trudeau era for having a conscience in this current cabinet of Carney's, the current Carney cabinet of conscious. I don't know. We'll workshop this. And give me some time. This is a funny little post here. From JJ McCullough complaining about Quebec's government. And I like this post specifically.
Quebec's government is run by mad, woke tyrants.
Because this show is called Woke in the West. Yes. So we are trying to figure out what woke is, what woke means. And JJ doesn't really seem to know either because as highlighted in this quote tweet here by Zubjub saying, truly an example of how conservatives call anything they don't like woke. This is nationalism. It's exclusionary. What exactly do you think wokeism is, JJ? And if we click on JJ's tweet here, you'll see what he's calling
what is
woke.
He complaining about?
And it's an announcement from Quebec's government to ban kosher-only and halal-only menus in public institutions and ban prayer in public schools and ban religious symbols for anyone who works with students.
Yeah. I like this because this is a blanket thing. It's like
it is a blanket
Islam,
thing.
Christianity,
it's secularism,
Judaism, anything.
This is like definition. And
so this is great. I support
it. It is weird that JJ calls this woke.
I mean, I can totally see why.
JJ is not someone that strikes me as conservative, but
Oh, he's conservative as fuck.
Or I mean, sorry, I know
Christian.
Yeah, Christian was the word I was looking
outwardly
for.
Christian.
Sorry. Yeah.
But, he's one of those cultural conservatives where, like, even if you're not actually a Christian, you have to, like, support Christian values.
JJ is a
just,
gay,
throw them
vegan conservative.
Yeah, like, what the fuck
like
are you doing,
he
man?
has, like, -2 invites to the party, and he still thinks that, like, because he uses the words woke and tyrants and whatever to describe, this act of what you could call nationalism from Quebec, because Quebec is very protective of its symbols and its presentation to, like, other Canadians. They don't want to be seen as a welcoming society. They're just French only in Quebec. So like, I don't know how that's woke.
Yeah. I mean, this is cool. I support this agenda, but overall Quebec is very pro-French, very French nationalist. Very exclusionary to the rest of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, out of the things listed here, I would definitely say I agree most with the banning prayer in schools.
Yes,
I agree with that the most.
Absolutely.
Banning religious symbols for anyone who works with students, I would just say widen that up to be anyone who works with kids.
Yeah.
Period, because that would include then social workers. Because the way it says, like, with students makes me think, oh yeah, the teacher can't have a crucifix up in the classroom. I can't think of a teacher who has a crucifix up in the classroom, but who might have religious symbols around children? A social worker who has to, like, drive them around. So if a teacher is not allowed to have a crucifix on the wall in the classroom, then a social worker should not be allowed to have a rosary hanging from their rear view window while they're driving kids around. So and then the banning kosher and halal only menus is kind of just funny, I guess. I guess I feel the same way about that as if a government suddenly decided to ban vegan options. Like, I don't really feel any way about it. So that for me is a distant third of the three things listed here. But yeah, banning prayer in schools is based, and banning religious symbols should be expanded.
We need a secular, standardized education system. No more homeschooling shit. No more no prayer in schools. None of that shit. We need all of our kids on the same page, learning the same information.
Yeah, not that Canada has a big problem with.
I know, but prayer, we don't want to go down that slippery slope, because look at where the U.S. is right now.
Yeah,
all these kids learning different things, and like
in my lifetime, there hasn't been a Canadian government that has really weaponized faith, and I don't know if Canada has enough faith in it to have it be successfully politicized.
Well, we need everyone to be on the same page and have the same view of the world.
Yeah, and it's mostly like
and this is a way to do it.
When Canadians are, like, questioned about it, it mostly comes down to just like, oh, keep it to yourself, as opposed to like, we don't want that here. That's the big difference. It's not like Quebec is banning Muslims. It's just saying, like, hey, keep your shit at home.
Yeah, right.
Keep it out of the public view. And like, you can dislike that. And you could also just choose to not live there, possibly, if you're, moving and you have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. For people that are living there and, they have a problem with it, I mean, it's a lot of people. And I guess my heart goes out to them. But I can't empathize, because I don't walk around with a cross necklace on.
Yeah. Sorry. Next time you order that beef burger, you got to take the risk that maybe there's some pork grease on it.
Grease.
Sorry. Them's the rules. All right, what is this?
This is a statement. So on screen right now, it's a quote tweet by a Canadian sitting senator, Leo Hausakis.
Yeah.
Quoting Cat Canada, who is a loser, paid for verified Twitter user, Canadian right-wing grifter shitlord. So she's not important to the story. She's just sharing a video that's a clip of a representative from the Legal Center for Palestine saying his clients seek Canada to declare. They want Canada to declare that it has, quote, breached its legal duty to prevent genocide in Gaza. And
I wonder if there was any other possible way for the conflict to have been avoided in the first place.
So yeah, this facetious comment is responded to in this quote post by the sitting Canadian senator, who says, yes, like maybe not attacking Israel on October 7th. I know it's a little early to bust out the Israel talk because we're in the Canada section right now, but I'm highlighting this because it is a sitting Canadian senator who posted this on X, the Everything app, talking about how, again, Israel is completely innocent and has never done anything bad to the Palestinians before October 7th.
Yeah, how about completely stealing the land in 1948? How about that?
Yeah, so that just tells you, and I want all my viewers, everyone here listening, to know that the people in power are old and racist and dumb.
Yes. And Israel are the aggressors.
So you need to
Keep
pay
that in
attention.
mind.
You need to tell people, because what they believe is not true. And the people that are in power in these institutions are furthering the lies that, benefit Israel and the powers that be that maintain the genocide.
Yeah, well, most people I know are against Israel. Like even my buddies that like lean towards the right, they talk shit about Israel too. So.
Oh yeah, Israel is
People
going to be a
know.
big issue that's going to fracture what we know as the left and the right. Is literally going to be completely cracked open over the next 3 years.
Yeah, it might be the thing that unites people together. It just might.
Yeah.
It just might.
Ending the Canada First section on some good news in the Stellantis back and forth between the Canadian government is that Stellantis is relenting and bringing back 1,400 jobs for what they're calling third shift at their Windsor plant.
Woo!
So,
yay!
it was like a will they or won't they between this auto manufacturer and the government. And it seems like for now, Stellantis is bringing it back.
Windsor plant. It's been 5 years since the third shift was eliminated. It's scheduled to reopen in mid-February to support increased demand of all versions of the Chrysler Pacifica and the new 6-pack powered Dodge Charger. But local applicants won't get first pick. Recently laid off workers from the Brampton plant will have the opportunity to transfer after Stellantis announced it's moving its Jeep Compass production to Illinois. Oh, so if you got laid off, you're not guaranteed your job back, I suppose. You have to wait in line like everybody else. I mean, that's kind of bullshit, but whatever.
Stewart says 3,000 people applied for the shift 1.5 years ago for positions not filled by Brampton employees. Stellantis will look at those applications first before opening it to the public. So people who applied to a thing like almost 2 years ago are going to get like a call. Hey, buddy, don't suppose you found work yet, did you?
Yeah, they're getting priority over the people that were actually laid off.
Yeah, we just opened this auto place up there, but I don't suppose you got some free time on your hands.
Yeah, right. You want to come down?
Yeah, you come down, help build us a Chrysler.
Chrysler?
Yeah. So yay, there's a little bit of Canadian
Jobs.
hopium economy.
The Canadian job market is growing.
Yeah,
It's
I will
quite good.
say
Unemployment is down.
I would say as well to our viewers that I own some stonks, and I have mostly all but one stock is Canadian in origin. The one American stock I still own is Keurig Dr. Pepper, and it's because Dr. Pepper is yummy and great, and it's the best soda.
It's very tasty, and it's got caffeine.
So I've definitely
when you
seen
want to burn the midnight oil,
even in the Canadian stocks, that it is doing all right now. Yeah, so good.
Mark Carney's doing something right.
He should still give us money though.
Yes,
we still need UBI.
More money. Yes,
badly.
In good time. All in good time.
We
need AI to fuck over a couple more people before we get UBI.
We need AI to somehow collapse the entire U.S. economy, the housing market.
We're probably going to need unemployed people rioting in the streets before we get UBI.
We're probably,
but it will happen. It's going to happen.
We're probably going to need unemployed people, not just rioting in the streets, but forming militias to go after the billionaire class in the streets. Yeah. Just saying.
Oh man, don't threaten me with a good time.
I scare the boomers when I say this stuff. It's actually crazy.
But how else is it going to happen? Like, if you just sit on your thumbs, nothing's going to get done. So, at the very least, we can at the very least talk about it and fantasize it,
We used to have an agreement in this, society that, like, people had upwards mobility and the ability to, like, work and succeed and save money and achieve things. And in return, the poors don't rise up and kill rich people in their homes. Like, I thought we had an agreement, but it seems like the rich people decided, let's just take all the money and not give anyone else anything.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to rethink the social contract and remind them of the precarious balance that we participate in.
But then one day, a sagging ballsack who used to act, had a brilliant idea. What if we give rich people all the money, and then out of the kindness of their Hollywood romanticized heart, they'll let it trickle down into the common folk.
It's been 50 years.
What a dream!
Ronnie, you're dead.
And where are we now? Has it worked?
Nothing's worked,
No?
so we need to...
Didn't work?
We can't just
Okay.
keep shaking this tree. We have to cut it down.
It didn't work, so let's have that money back now.
Yeah.
It was a
Tree's
nice
gotta
little
come
experiment.
down. It's over. I want full 95% tax rate on the rich, like in the 50s.
Yeah. I bring that up to people, and they don't believe me.
I know, it's actually
They
crazy.
don't believe that was a thing. They're like, bullshit. Well, people just don't do their homework anymore. Did they not pay attention in social studies class?
No.
Fuck. All right. We're in the rest of the world now. I thought maybe we'd start off with a little hopium. Because, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, so...
I love that.
Bang.
The transition into the rest of the world segment. Yeah, exactly.
That was... Rock 101 uses that sometimes for Just the Headline
local
segment.
Radio station.
Just the Headline.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Just the Headline, Georgia Democrat Eric Gisler.
Eric Guzzler.
Eric the Guzzler Gisler.
Hardly know her.
Flips a state house seat in a district that Trump won by double digits.
Yeah, so we our opening, I think, was some hopium. There's been some
Ethan Cohen wrote this article. Whoa, he's fallen on.
There's been some good
directing.
elections outside of the disappointment in Tennessee last episode. I'll let you read some of this because it's pretty straightforward.
Democrats continued their run of successes in special elections by flipping a state house seat in Georgia on Tuesday. The Democratic victory in a district that voted for President Donald Trump by about 12 percentage points last year comes ahead of next year's critical midterms, when Georgians will vote in closely watched races for Senate and governor. Eric Glizzy Gisler, a Democrat who owns a local olive oil store. Oh, that's why he's so glistening and gizzly. Guzzle all that olive oil.
Exactly.
Will defeat Republican Mac Dutch. What the fuck is with these names? Mac Dutch Guest in the 121st House District. Gisler versus Guest.
Yeah,
in the
I don't know.
northeastern part of the state near the college
I don't
town
think
of Athens.
Dutch is a nickname that you get naturally.
Dutch
Dutch is a nickname you give yourself, and then you insist everyone call you Dutch. Does it say how much he won by?
I don't see any numbers. No. They never post the fucking numbers in these articles. Come on, people.
So brutal.
We want to see the data. We want to break it down for you lovely people. But no, people don't know how to do math anymore.
No, they really don't.
God damn it.
Sorry about that, folks. You'll just have to look up how Eric Gisler Guzzler, how many points he won by in Georgia.
Eric Gisler Guzzler Gizzard.
Hardly know her.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Oh, some more good news.
Yes.
From Miami.
Another blue swing. Democrats flip Miami mayor's office for the first time in 30 years. So if you thought the blue wave was going to be bad, how does it feel to know that, like, if an election happens, like talking midterms, and we see the results going east to west, Florida lighting up blue? Oh my God. That's something that's like unthinkable for the last
Florida, though,
2 decades.
Or just like the big cities?
I mean, the big cities are always safe, but it's a matter of turnout. And if they're like this motivated, that's pretty interesting. And the fact that Miami was Republican for so long is also interesting because that's not something I knew.
Yeah. Democrats flip Miami mayor's office. They got a Democratic mayor. Wow. I bet the conservatives down there are just all torn up about that. Or they're just like, oh, well, that's Democrat shitty. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to cope
It's one of those
with
sodomite cities.
But I think that the Republicans are just taking their wins for granted because it's not just about winning now, it's about holding. And clearly the Republicans are not holding.
Yeah. They're burning all the bridges and not caring what happens next.
Which is great for opponents that know how to, catch a fumble.
Yeah, right?
Do the Democrats? I don't know.
Get this fucking goat out of here. Get out of here. Why is the headline like way down here? Look at this ad. Okay, there we go.
It's just the way their videos are formatted.
I thought it was just going to be a giant ad taking up the whole
Foreigners
screen.
planning to visit the U.S. may...
This is from CBS News, by the way.
Foreigners planning to visit the U.S. may soon want to be cautious with their social media posts. A new proposal from the Trump administration calls for travelers from some countries to provide their social media history for the past 5 years. This would apply to travelers using the electronic system for travel authorization, also known as ESTA. Right now, providing social media data is optional, but this proposal would make it mandatory.
Wow. So if you want to visit the U.S., what did you post on Twitter 5 years ago?
Yeah, it's people coming into the States with a particular visa, but they're planning to target a lot of countries like Europe or throughout Europe. So it's not great. I think Canada might have been on the list too for people going into the States with a specific visa, but obviously it's just not a great box to open, Pandora's box of like demanding people surrender their social media history at the border. Like,
well, we know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're looking for anyone who speaks ill of their dear leader. You know, that's exactly what they want.
yeah, well, here's what I got to say about their dear leader.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck Trump.
Fuck you, Donald Trump. Look at this guy. Bleh. He's so orange.
Yeah, well, to take your mind,
look at that wrinkly little mouth.
to take your mind off the fact of how old, orange, and dying Donald Trump is, he decided to seize an oil tanker off the Venezuelan coast today, which
Big
means
breaking story.
Which means that this episode, you know, I was not sure that we were going to have like a theme this episode, but if we're going to see how things go, obviously, the Iran stuff didn't necessarily spiral in the way that we thought it would immediately, but are we getting a Venezuelan invasion for Christmas? Trump.
Wow, you shouldn't have. Really, you shouldn't have.
Really.
Please stop. Don't
stop it, please.
Venezuela accuses Washington of blatant theft and denounces act of international piracy announced by Trump. This is from Al Jazeera from today.
As we know, Al Jazeera, one of the best news sources. That's not sarcasm. That's real.
Yeah, like who would have thought? The United States has seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Blah, blah, blah. U.S. Coast Guard. Here we go. We've just seized a tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually. Trump said during an event at the White House. What does that even mean? And other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later with some other people. When faced with questions about the tanker at a round table with business leaders, Trump encouraged reporters to follow the tanker to find out more.
Yeah, follow the tanker.
Follow your nose.
On Instagram and TikTok. He also declined to identify the vessel's owner, but added, I assume we're going to keep the oil.
So they just stole a Venezuelan tanker and just took the oil?
Yeah, Venezuelan government responded by calling it a blatant theft and describing it as an act of international piracy. Publicly announced and endorsed by the President of the United States.
So that's where we're at, huh? We're just stealing
Venezuela
boats.
would, quote, defend its sovereignty, national resources, and national dignity with absolute determination.
Damn.
But U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, or Dumb Blondie as she's sometimes known, posted on social media that the tanker had been seized for transporting, quote, sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran. What part of oil from Venezuela going to Iran or Iran oil going to Venezuela, what part of that transaction involves America?
None of it.
And so why is America
why do they
involved?
care? Yeah, what the fuck does this have to do with you, bro?
I can't believe the American people are like just taking this. Like, this is the exact tyranny that they're talking about. Government action that is not being pre-approved.
Oh, they're blaming terrorism. Of course they are. For multiple years, the oil tanker has been sanctioned by the United States due to its involvement with an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. This is Pam Bondi.
Okay,
Still,
prove it.
her post, you're just pulling shit out of your ass. Her post was accompanied by a video that showed U.S. soldiers rappelling onto the, I've never heard that word before, rappelling onto the tanker from military helicopters. Bondi explained that the Department of Defense, the FBI, and the Homeland Security Department cooperated with the Coast Guard on the operation. So there's video of it?
Oh my god! Our YouTube viewers are getting a treat right now. This unclassified footage of extremely cool U.S. Coast Guard Army people, fucking around in the Caribbean.
Fucking look at these pirates, dude.
The only terrorists I see are the American soldiers.
This is like outright terrorism. You're just stealing a fucking boat and taking their oil just because.
America is the biggest terrorist state in the world, and that's why they love Israel so much. But that's also why they have to get themselves involved into so many foreign wars and endless entanglements overseas, because that's how you keep the population from like coalescing into an actual collective of people that could rise up and kill you. Is it if you keep sending the young ones away to die in dumb wars?
Yeah, they're just antagonizing everybody right now. Us, Venezuela, Mexico, Europe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to team up and kick the shit out of America at some point.
Everybody except Russia and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
that's it.
What a list of allies.
Yeah, and Israel, of course. Yeah.
America, Russia, and Israel versus the world. Because Saudi Arabia wouldn't stay with America if that was the case. They'd be like, "No, it's you or it's you, them or us."
Oh, look at Sleepy Trump over here.
So this is a brutal.
He looks like he needs a nap.
This is a brutal clip of Newsmax legal analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano, who was previously on Fox News and previously worked with Pete Hegseth, who, for those who don't remember, Pete Hegseth is the Secretary of Defense /war crimes.
Yeah.
And
the coked up warlord of the United States.
And this is his former co-star from Fox News, who is also a sitting judge in the States, or like a judge. And, he doesn't think that Pete's going to get away with these war crimes, and he doesn't think he should. And this is on Newsmax. So this is a pretty big reversal. So let's
this is about the other boat strike that Hegseth did. Like,
oh yeah, so there's been
how many have there been?
I think there's been about 24 boat strikes.
24?
At least that we know, because remember the U.S. also kicked out all the journalists from the Pentagon. So now there's no way for anyone to know what the hell the U.S. is doing until the U.S. government itself makes the thing public. So that's like the way it used to work, was that journalists could just be in the Pentagon, and if the Pentagon like fucked up or let something slip, then it was basically fair game, whether or not it was classified or not. Because if a journalist can get to it, then it's already like, well, we didn't do our job right. So Pete Hegseth took up office, and he's like, no, now you have to only release what we want you to release. And none of the journalists signed on for that. So we don't know how many strikes there have been. But Pete Hegseth started running his mouth and bragging that he like ordered a kill 'em all strike. And so that's what this is about, is that when you strike a target in an act of war, which is what the whole guise of this shit has been, is that the U.S. is saying, oh, we're in a war against narco terrorism. And so if it is a war, then you have to obey the rules of war. And the rules of war state that if you're going to blow up a vessel in the middle of the ocean and there are survivors after your initial strike, then your job is to rescue those survivors. Prisoners of war are to be taken care of. But no, if Pete Hegseth gave a kill 'em all order, then that's a huge war crime, a violation. So does the judge think that Pete's going to get away with it?
It gives me no pleasure to say what I'm about to say, because I worked with Pete Hegseth for 7 or 8 years at Fox News. This is an act of a war crime, ordering survivors who the law requires be rescued instead to be murdered. There's absolutely no legal basis for it. Everybody along the line who did it, from the Secretary of Defense to the Admiral to the people who actually pulled the trigger, should be prosecuted for a war crime for killing these two people.
So he says everyone, the whole chain of command needs to be tried.
Yeah, but they say that, but we lived through the Bush era where war crimes were committed on a daily basis in the Middle East. And, Dick Cheney got to die peacefully in his sleep. So I have no faith that Hegseth actually is going to face any consequences. I'll believe it. I'll believe it when he's fucking
already threw out the name of a general to take the fall for him. Yeah. So we're going to see if that actually manages to stick or not. Because the fact that he put forward a fall guy says that they are concerned about this. And word is that Trump is not the most thrilled about this either. He really hates that this Hexeth stuff is getting so bad. But I guess anything to get people to move on from the Epstein stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. This is another boat strike related story from September 2nd.
Well, this is specifically related to the Hexeth strike. So this was basically the breaking news of it. Because if you look at it, this tweet has 11 million views.
Oh, God.
So yeah, exclusive. Hexeth ordered everyone killed in first alleged drug boat strike on September 2nd, prompting a second hit to finish off survivors in the water in a mission led by SEAL Team 6, ordering no quarter could legally perilous. So yeah, just a post here, someone saying, this is insanely illegal. When you ask what they were taking or what they were talking about, the kind of orders that are illegal, this is it. It's against the law to kill wounded prisoners, period. And so, like, yeah, when we had that video, I don't know if that was really a story we talked about, but like those U.S. sitting senators and House members that, you know, were former military who were like, you have to refuse illegal orders. Being told by your superiors to kill wounded combatants is a war crime. So that's what they're talking about. That was this. And this was a really big test of the American, military's conscience. So
who's this Chuck DeVore guy? Lieutenant Colonel, retired Army intel. I guess I missed that. Whom did we take prisoner? Oh, that's right. No one. Wow. They murdered injured victims. Nice game, though. They slaughtered people, and it's a crime. Play your stupid games.
Yeah.
See, there are some people in the military who do support this stuff.
His bio says Reagan DOD, Department of Defense.
From the Reagan administration?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
I bet this guy's got a Wikipedia page.
Oh, God. Chuck DeVore. Fuck you. Fuck you, Chuck.
Yeah, another Chuck to fuck.
Don't fuck with the Chuck.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Unfortunately, Franklin was in the news in a big way this week, thanks to everyone's favorite drunken sailor, Pete Hexeth, who posted, I guess, an AI-generated cover of a fake book with the caption, "For your Christmas wish list." It's a classic Franklin story. Franklin targets narco-terrorists.
There he is blowing up a boat with a rocket launcher.
Yeah, our YouTube viewers are getting quite a tweet.
Yeah.
So, Kids Can Press had to put out a statement saying that Franklin does not do that.
Yeah, I'll read the full statement here. Franklin the Turtle is a beloved Canadian icon. I actually didn't know that. Yeah. Who has inspired generations of children and stands for kindness, empathy, and inclusivity. Fuck yes, Franklin. We strongly condemn any denigrating, violent, or unauthorized use of Franklin's name or image, which directly contradicts these values. Yeah, Franklin.
Yay, base Franklin.
I can't believe that. I didn't know Franklin was CanCon.
Yes, Franklin is, and that's why it's even more interesting that that's the children's book that Pete decided to generate. No one's making a little critter war crimes meme.
Critter crimes.
Yeah, right? Critter crimes. Speaking of war crimes.
Dan Crenshaw. Feel bad for me because I got my eye blown off. Remember when I got my eye blown off? That was sad.
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw, famous for having his eye blown off while the U.S. engaged in terrorism in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Said, yeah, I did lots of war crimes when I was in the army and no one made a big deal about it.
Yeah. See, I was just talking about that. The Bush administration. Yeah. War crimes all the time.
Whoa, wait.
All-time war crimes.
Should we put more people in jail for war crimes?
Yeah.
But the jails are so full.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do a trade. We'll release all the marijuana drug offenders and replace them with the people who are admitting to war crimes in public. Yeah. Do we have a deal?
Yeah, I did a lot of war crimes, but hey, guys, they took my eye, okay? It really hurt, all right? I have no depth perception.
It's like the Bible said, an eye for an eye. I mean, sorry, an eye for all of the lives in your village.
Yeah. I can't, it's hard for me to grab stuff now, guys, okay?
Yeah, my depth perception is terrible, so I'm going to kill you and exterminate your bloodline.
Yeah. I don't like this man, in case you haven't noticed.
No, Dan Crenshaw's a freaking loser weasel.
Anyway, let's hear what this asshole has to say.
I can't recall any time in my history doing counterterrorism operations where we strike a group, whether that's a building or a boat or a vehicle, and then we were like, oh, well, they're survivors, so we have to go. We can't kill them. Of course we killed them.
Of course.
So
we
yeah,
kill
he just
people.
admitted to killing wounded combatants, admitting to war crimes on Fox News. So yes.
Yeah. Did he just
How many
admit
views
to war
does this
crimes
have?
on record? Yes, Harry.
How many
yes, he
views
did.
does this?
2.5
million. Let's go.
And
Okay,
what does
good.
The original have 4.2 million.
It'd be nice to see Dan Crenshaw accidentally get like his military record examined.
It would be funny to see Dan Crenshaw slip and fall and lose his other eye.
Wow,
That's what I want. That's what I want for Christmas.
you can't say something like that.
He's a veteran.
That means he was.
Can't see.
That means he's
It's
good,
okay.
right?
He's got an eye patch. He doesn't even have a cool eye patch.
Yeah,
It's
not
lame.
like a pirate.
Fucking lame.
So, for those in our American audience, which
How was Black Friday, guys?
Did you guys find any awesome deals? Was it such a door buster? Did you bust your door? Did you step on a toddler in Walmart while trying to get a half-price TV with a surround sound? Did you hear the sickening sound of their tiny little bones crunching underfoot as you retrieved your PlayStation 5?
Trampled underfoot. I'm really on point with the musical references tonight. Anyway, I'll let you do this one because
so
you're a numbers person.
Was not actually good according to the data. Of course, the opinion is that the consumer market is just weakened right now, of course. Allegedly, 95% of sales was financed, which means that these are people purchasing with like
loans and credit cards
or Klarna type buy now, pay later schemes.
Those apps where like you pay cents at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
67% of that intends not even to pay off within 30 days. Roughly $1 billion was spent using buy now, pay later models specifically, which are the worst debt. And this person on Twitter who we're capping here, and also he replies to himself. We can open that tweet too. He said it points to a really bad economy, which of course we all know that. So it's a 9.1 increase spend from last year, allegedly in the sales data with a big but. A minus 1% in total item volume from last year, which means, and it's so funny that the math shakes out so perfectly like this, but since the overall amount of items, the volume of which has decreased, so it's less items overall by 1%, the prices are 7% higher.
That's crazy.
Consumers bought on average 4.1 fewer items. So like, just figure that out in your head. The fact that the sales amount was up by 9%, but it was 1% less total items. Every consumer bought 4% less items, and prices were up by 7%. Yeah. And if you add on the 11% increase in the buy now, pay later use, and Klarna, as I just said, specifically up 45% since last year.
God.
Yeah, things are not looking good. People do not have money.
Roughly 11% of all Black Friday spending was financed through buy now, pay later, and 84% of all purchases were financed by credit cards. And 67% of those consumers expect to not pay the full balance in the first month.
I don't think that the majority of people who use buy now, pay later intend to pay it off within the first 30 days. No, I don't think so.
A total of 95% of Black Friday shopping, $11.2 billion American dollars, was financed. And 67% was financed on debt that consumers do not expect to be able to pay in 30 days. So we're not even like passing a dollar bill around anymore. We're just passing air to each other. It's all just credit now.
Yeah, we're passing around the IOU.
Yeah, it's just a pink slip. Passing around a little.
We're just hoping that no one will look down and notice.
Wait a minute, this isn't a dollar bill.
Wait a minute, this isn't money. And then you look up and everyone's gone. It's like a cartoon. It's like just a smoke cloud. It's like an apparition. Poof. Yeah. Wait a minute, this isn't money.
95% of sales.
I love that everyone is using the memes from The Big Short. If you are a listener and you haven't watched The Big Short, please watch it.
Because I haven't watched The Big Short.
That's what our society is built on now. Yeah, I think it's on everyone's favorite service, Paramount Plus.
OnlyFans, Klarna, and FanDuel holding up the economy. Yeah, it's a good meme. These poor dancers were performing at the Macy's Thanksgiving. Why did you even post this? Oh, they're like barefoot. Oh my God. These poor dancers were performing at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
It was Thanksgiving.
They had to dance.
Thanksgiving.
They had to dance in piles of horse crap because the horses that were in the parade earlier had to relieve themselves. Wow, they were dancing in horse shit. Let's take a look.
It's Lady Gaga music.
They're like
you probably can't do too much of the music.
Could you imagine if they slipped and fell?
The music is Lady Gaga. I know, like, I really hope none of it. Like, it looks like they're almost touching the ground in parts. I really hope that they didn't. America's century of humiliation continues.
Oh, it's like squishing at her toes, bro. No.
I cannot believe that the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade did not have the bags on their horses' butts to catch the poop.
Could you imagine if they slipped and fell?
Oh, they're touching the ground. Oh, yeah.
No.
Just remember, if your day is not going so well, that in America, they made a bunch of children dance in horse poo.
American century of humiliation.
Glad to see it continuing.
Someone else commented, if this was in a non-white country, right-wingers would be posting stuff like, these people just dance around and slop and you think we can share a society with them? Yeah,
yeah,
right.
That's a pretty good post.
Really good point, actually. I might actually like that.
Woken to West.
Woken to West, like your post.
Yay. Great news for our American audience, for anyone wanting to visit a national park in America. You can no longer go for free on MLK Day or Juneteenth, but you can go for the really important day that is Trump's birthday.
So can we just admit that this is racist as fuck? Like they specifically, they specifically went after the black holidays, and they replaced it with like the dear leader's birthday. So yes, this is fascist and very racist.
And under the guise that dear leader's birthday happens to fall on Flag Day, the very important holiday that we all know and love.
Yeah. So this is from USA Today, December 6th, 2025. In 2026, Americans will get free admission to national parks on President Donald Trump's birthday, but no longer Juneteenth and MLK Day. Federally recognized in 2021 under the Biden administration. It's that young, eh?
Yeah.
Juneteenth has been celebrated for more than a century and a half. Okay, so it didn't get officially recognized until recently. Commemorates the final end of slavery in Confederate states. Yep. The NPS also added more free admission days for next year, calling them patriotic fee-free days, such as Trump's birthday, July 4th weekend, and the 110th birthday of the National Park Services.
Mm-hmm.
Patriots!
Yeah, because celebrating the end of slavery is not patriotic.
Yeah, right? No, they wanted to keep that, actually.
Actually, yes.
The move is one of several for the Park Services under the executive order designed to allow more Americans to visit national parks and cut back on DEI policies, of course. They announced an America First initiative that would charge an additional $100 per... Wait, what? Recently, the NPS announced an America First initiative that would charge an additional $100 per person onto foreign tourists without an annual pass.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't mention this. This is another new announcement from the last couple of weeks.
So if you're, like, visiting the U.S.,
if you're in a national park and you are not American...
You have to pay an additional $100 per person.
If you don't pay for an annual pass, yes.
Wow. And they're doing this
but
while
only for
only
for the 11 most visited national parks starting in the new year.
Okay.
That's an exciting
like
new
that
policy.
Makes it better.
See,
okay.
Isn't this ridiculous that every government's only idea is what if we charge people for going places? That's actually absurd.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. And I'm against that. But again, that sort of puts me alongside those right-wing lunatics who just scream about like how much they hate 15-minute cities or whatever. But this isn't that. This is like the government actively trying to avoid tweaking the financial system that has doomed the world economy just so they can squeeze more out of the poor people for some bullshit fees, whether it's the US or the UK. This is just not acceptable. Like, it's just not. It's pathetic, actually.
$100 USD to go visit a fucking...
And see, this is the kind of thing where, like, when I get all nihilistic and macro view of the, like, world and stuff, where it's like, one day the earth is just going to shake off the human race like dandruff from its shoulder. Yeah. Is like $100 to go visit a national park. What about in 100 years?
You gotta
know?
be fucking kidding me, dude.
Like, give me a break. Like, money is literally killing the planet. It's killing all of us. And it's like, you guys need to just like squeeze it out of people because you're too scared to make it.
God.
It's so pathetic.
So nothing else in this article, really. Just you visiting our country? Fuck you. $100.
Yeah, fuck you. $100.
From the second you fucking enter the country, you're charged out the ass. They just insert their fist directly into your ass and do not stop until you leave the country. It's like they're so aggressive. It's like they don't even want you to come and spend money.
And we're not.
And it's like we want money, but we also don't want your money. So don't come here.
Well, we're too good to ask for it. We just believe we deserve it.
Yeah. Let us financially rape you and then get the fuck out afterwards. Okay, what does this bitch want? Who is this? This is Kristi Noem, right? Mm-hmm. This is the face hugger from South Park.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
So this is a little interview thing from her in regards to there was a shooter at the White House. We were watching a movie in the cinema, and it was a shooting in DC, actually, not so much the White House. Do we have an article about that? Or not really. We'll just
talk about it here.
There was a lot of conspiracy stuff flying around about it, which we're not going to focus on. This is stuff that you can tune into Candace Owens. Candace Owens, if you want to hear about, because we're too good for that sort of like time wasting conspiratorial stuff. But a lot of people were saying like, wow, it's so suspicious that this happened with the shooter in DC and blah, blah, blah. And Israel was involved maybe, but like, of course, Israel's always involved. But the fact is that, of course, right after the shooting was that the Republicans tried so badly to make it out as like, oh, it's a bad foreigner, Joe Biden let him into the country, and that's bad. But it turns out that this guy might have worked with American troops in Afghanistan.
Whoa!
And
really?
then when he came into the country, he was brought in on the special visa from when I think the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan. And his claim to become a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, I believe, only went through earlier this year, i.e. under the Trump administration. So this pesky NBC journalist is trying to get Department of Homeland Security Secretary Bimbo Kristi Numboskull to admit that it was Trump's government that admitted this man, but she will not, and you will see.
Now, when we vet individuals under this administration, we know who they are, why they are here, and going through that. Unfortunately, this individual, that entire process happened under Joe Biden's watch.
Well, but just to be very clear, I want to go back to what happened on the Trump administration's watch. He was extensively vetted in order to serve alongside U.S. service members as a part of the CIA trained strike force. But in terms of what happened on the Trump administration's watch, just to be very clear, what vetting did the Trump administration do before giving this suspect asylum?
The vetting process, Kristen, happens when the person comes into the country, and Joe Biden completely did not vet any of these individuals, did not vet this individual.
Who said Joe Biden?
Until he got into the United States. And then that application for asylum was opened under the Joe Biden administration when he was the president of the White House and allowed that to go forward with the information that they provided. That's the Biden administration's responsibility. This is the consequences of the dangerous situation he put our country in when he allowed those people to infiltrate our country during that abandonment of Afghanistan. And that's why I'm so grateful. We have a president now that isn't going to allow it to happen, that he now has put in place measures under his watch at the Department of Homeland Security that we are bringing in new information.
Blah, blah, blah. The other lady needs to cut her off.
Yeah, shut up, bitch.
What do they do on Facebook? What do they do on TikTok and other social media platforms?
What do they do on TikTok?
Can you believe this lady's in her 50s?
She is? Damn.
I'm pretty sure.
Plastic surgery is good for something, I guess. Now she just looks like a 35-year-old that got stung by a bee.
Who are their conversations with?
Good job.
And we use their biometric data information now. We track to make sure they
she's
are
trying to
who
cut
they
in.
say they are, and they're here for their right intentions.
Stop letting her
We are
steamroll.
going to talk about some of the steps the president's taking, but I just want to be very clear about this because his asylum was approved in April of this year on the Trump administration's watch. So just to be very clear, was there a vetting process in place to approve that asylum request?
Yeah, the vetting process all happened under Joe Biden's administration.
What? No, it didn't.
When he was granted asylum?
Oh my
Are you
fucking
saying he wasn't
God.
vetted when he was
I
granted
just thought
asylum?
you'd appreciate the dead-eyed look in her freaking glazed eyes.
Yeah, right.
It's basically like a pre-programmed script. There's no soul.
She's dead inside.
Yeah,
dude.
it's just so sad and scary because this is the kind of person, she literally is the kind of person who shot a puppy in the face.
Oh, yeah. She sure did.
So, yeah, I would not trust her to, manage the well-being of anyone or anything that is alive.
Fucking psycho.
Speaking of U.S. officials being embarrassing, current press secretary Caroline Leavitt posted on Twitter that the Trump White House is holding fake news accountable like never before with this cool page from the website. Our YouTube viewers can see that on the White House government website, whitehouse.gov/media bias, is that they have 4 outlets labeled as exposed.
The Offender Hall of Shame, a record of the media's false and misleading stories flagged by the White House. Scroll for the truth. Let's take a look at the actual website here. What is this? Misleading, biased, exposed. The whitehouse.gov. I feel like I'm on like the InfoWars main page.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm going to be sold a vitamin supplement at any moment here. We're going to come across an ad. The Washington Post, exposed. Media Offender of the Week. I'm not going to listen to you.
No, we don't need to see that. Is that it? That's the whole page?
Well, no, there's more shit down here. The Offense! The Washington Post, Alex Horton and Ellen Nakashima published an article from 2 unnamed sources, blah, blah, blah. The Truth! The Department of War killed 11 narco-terrorists in a coordinated... So they're just sucking their own dick here.
Also, what do you mean the truth? The truth is that you killed people with an order, right? So we need to know what the order was. And if the order was, kill them all, like Pete Hegseth said he said it was, then we deserve to know that. So like immediately their first claim is just, it's not even true. And it's not even a full half truth. Yeah. It's a statement of fact in a way that omits the actual thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, this is full on Ministry of Truth shit.
It's actually disgusting.
It says the truth, but this is like a blatant fucking lie. This is misinformation. Killed 11 narco-terrorists.
The Washington Post published this unsubstantiated claim in an attempt to discredit the United States warfighters and inflame anti-American sentiment. And the category is listed as malpractice.
Omission of context.
Yeah,
lie.
You're kidding.
Wow. Lie. That's the first thing. Jesus Christ. The Washington Post published an unsubstantiated lie to undermine the Department of War's anti-terrorist operations. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and it lists sources. What a fucking joke. Sources. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's post. What are they using as sources here? The Washington Post, Hegseth orders. Okay, so that's the post itself. What did Stephen Chung?
Oh, it's on X. This? Of course it's an X.
Yeah, fucking X. The White House website leads to a fucking X post. It's just people going nuh-uh, basically.
On X.
Yeah, Stephen Chung is quote tweeting someone. Haley Britsky says, Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell said just a few days ago, this entire narrative was false. And then Stephen Chung says, CNN reporter confirms what we've been saying all along, that the Washington Post article was not accurate and was purposefully done to sow a false narrative. But they're not.
And also the CNN reporter didn't say that. The CNN reporter just quoted a chief Pentagon spokesperson who said that this is nothing.
Yeah, so it's just Stephen Chung going, nuh-uh.
They can't even get their own shit right. So
what does Hegseth have to say? Oh my God, I'm not fucking reading that.
No.
Fucking coked up ass Pete Hegseth post.
Can we move on? What's the next
Yeah,
post?
Let's get out of here. I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, so they're blaming Washington Post, CBS, NBC, and MSNBC. I'm pretty sure all the ones that they hate, but that's not news.
Oh, I remember this story. Michael Bohacek,
Probably.
Bohacek,
Something.
whatever. Indiana Senate Republican Mike Bohacek, whose daughter has Down syndrome, says he's a no on redistricting, citing Trump's slur as an influence.
Yeah, so I don't know how we want to necessarily approach this whole slur thing, but basically for Thanksgiving, for our American audience, the day that Black Friday is after, I guess, is that American Thanksgiving, Trump, the president of the United States, is supposed to, make a message that makes Americans come together and embrace the spirit of giving thanks. And so Trump went on Truth Social and farted out an enormously long truth in which he called current governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, Tampon Tim himself, Kamala's vice president pick. He called him an artard.
Retarded?
Yeah.
I love how you went to artard.
Because that's marginally better,
that was the popular variant that was flung around the schoolyard when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Fucking artard.
Yeah, so Trump called Trump called Tim Walz. Mike Walz is the other guy. I called Tim Walz a retard. And as a result, this Indiana state senator, who is a Republican, who is in a state that Trump wants to do gerrymandering to give the Republicans more seats next year in the midterms, has now pulled his support from the government's agenda due to Trump's slur. And if you want, you could read Michael's statement here.
Many of you have asked my position on redistricting. I have been an unapologetic advocate for people with intellectual disabilities since the birth of my second daughter. I just assume he has a Southern accent. Those of you that don't know me or my family might not know that my daughter has Down syndrome. This is not the first time our president has used these insulting and derogatory references, and his choices of words have consequences. I will be voting no on redistricting. Perhaps he can use the next 10 months to convince voters that his policies and behavior deserve a congressional majority.
Oh, I really thought you were going to draw it out. That convince voters that his policies and behavior deserve a congressional majority.
Because
it definitely feels like that kind of old school Republican trying to take a high road thing here and be like, how dare you, sir? Step out of line.
Yeah, just like a typical Republican, they only care when it affects them.
Exactly. So, good for welcome to the resistance, Michael Bohacek. You and your daughter.
Yeah. He's going to be soft on this one woke issue and nothing else because it affects him personally.
Yeah.
Just like how Dick Cheney was okay with the gays, I guess.
Yeah, because he has a gay daughter.
Lizzie daughter.
Liz Cheney?
Les Cheney.
Yeah.
That's another schoolyard insult that I remember.
Yep.
She's fucking Les, bro. So dumb.
Yeah, that's definitely old.
Yeah, that's very 2002 coded.
So this is at a press conference. I don't remember specifically where, but it's from Mar-a-Lago, not D.C., because it's the winter White House, don't you know? Mm-hmm. And the reporter asked from News Nation, I guess, if Trump planned to attend the funeral of Sarah, who was one of the National Guards people who was killed in the shooting on D.C. by that Afghanistan national.
Right.
So there were two National Guards people there. One was killed. I believe the other one was in critical condition last I'd heard. I don't believe that the other one has passed away, but one of them did pass. And that one was this young lady, Sarah, that they're going to talk about. And the reporter just asked Trump, do you plan to attend Sarah's funeral? But I guess without the context of who she is or what, Trump doesn't seem to recall anything and then just kind of goes back to talking about how he won it by such a huge margin. So it's pretty embarrassing.
Obviously, but do you plan to attend Sarah's funeral?
I haven't thought about it yet, but it certainly is something I could conceive of. I love West Virginia. I won West Virginia by one of the biggest margins of any president anywhere. And it's, these are great people. I love the people of West Virginia. I love the people of our country. But I haven't given it any thought, but it sounds like something I could do, yeah.
West Virginia? What does West Virginia have to do with
that? Might
anything?
Be where she's from, because they were stationed in D.C. from West Virginia.
Okay.
But still, like the question was, are you going to go to this dead service member's funeral, and he's like, I won West Virginia. And also, I could tell by the way he was talking and looking at the reporter, our YouTube viewers know what I'm talking about. She is his type. She made a look at him, and like that's probably why he didn't like snap at her, and why he kind of probably forgave the stupidity of the question, because like I bet he doesn't really even know who Sarah is, like in that context. He needs help.
Sarah Silverman? She died?
I didn't know that Sarah Silverman had passed away.
Rest in peace, Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Jessica Parker. Susan Sarandon passed away. I call her Sarah Susan Sarandon.
Susie Q. Sweet Susie Q.
Susie Quattro passed away. Our love is
Rudy
alive.
Sarzo passed away? Oh no.
And so it begins. Anyway, Indigenous actor Elaine Miles says ICE called her travel ID fake. That didn't totally fit the syllables, but yeah. An actress from hit shows such as Reservoir Dogs.
She was in Reservoir Dogs.
I believe.
Oh, there's like a reboot TV show going on, isn't there?
Or no, I think I meant to.
Oh, Reservation Dogs. Yeah, that makes more sense.
I knew it sounded wrong when I said it, but yeah. So Indigenous actor Elaine Miles says ICE called her tribal ID fake. Elaine Miles was walking to a bus stop in Redmond, Washington to go to a Target when 4 men wearing masks and vests with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement labels stepped out of 2 black SUVs with no front plates and pressed her for her ID. She's known, the actress is known for roles in shows like The Last of Us and Northern Exposure, and handed them her tribal ID for the Confederate Tribes of Umatilla Indian Reservation in Oregon. And one agent reportedly called it fake, according to Miss Miles.
And someone else said anyone can make that. Jesus. Miles said her son and uncle were both detained by ICE agents who initially did not accept their tribal IDs before they were eventually let go. Oh, so this keeps happening.
Yeah.
This is a thing that keeps happening.
What we're talking about here is racial profiling.
Yeah, you think?
Said Seattle-based Indigenous rights attorney Gabriel Galanda, who does not represent Miles. People are getting pulled over or detained on the street because of the dark color of their skin.
Imagine trying to deport and detain, like, Indigenous people.
The statement from
oh my God.
ICE. Allegations that DHS law enforcement officers engage in racial profiling are disgusting, reckless, and categorically false!
In all caps.
Yeah, so
I totally believe
manly, guys.
It's just like the White House page where they're like, "Nuh-uh, it's a lie. It's not true." Source? And then they just look at a Twitter post.
Grok, is this true?
Grok. The statement said ICE agents were conducting targeted immigration enforcement traffic stops when they encountered Miles, but did not say why they questioned her.
Yeah, and she said the men did not identify themselves, and she was worried they could be bounty hunters. Mm-hmm. I honestly have to say, as a Canadian, I am very, very much looking forward to ICE pulling over the wrong Mexican in Texas one day. It's just some strapped, young man, 25-year-old Carlos Sanchez something, and he's got like a bunch of guns, or like even better, like a van full of like teenage Mexican American gangbangers from Texas getting pulled over by ICE. And like I don't want to like get gleeful and smile at the thought of a bunch of dead ICE agents, but like,
no, you can.
The fact that they are not obeying the Constitution and attempting to like detain and seize people without presenting themselves or like declaring that they are law enforcement, I think opens the door for them to just be killed.
This part's fucked up here. When
self-defense.
When the men did not believe Miles's tribal ID, she pointed to a phone number at the back of the card and she said, "Call it." When they didn't, she took out her phone to call the office herself, but the agents tried unsuccessfully to take her phone. That's when a 5th agent in the SUV whistled over and the agents went back to their vehicles and left.
Wow, what a bunch of cowards.
She tried to phone the office for the card and they tried to steal her phone.
Yeah, these guys are such loser cowards. Honestly, the fact that there hasn't been some sort of like mass violence against ICE agents in the US is probably why they're still recruiting so many of these people. Because if like they're actually cracking down, if the people rise up against this tyranny, government-sponsored tyranny, then this overreach will stop. but it is not stopping.
Got some economic news for you now.
Yes, some little updates. The bubble hasn't burst yet. We're all on the edges of our seats waiting for it. Meanwhile, the U.S. did not release a jobs report in October because of what they called the jobs thing. The government was closed and whatnot. Then they released a number that was really high, but according to More Perfect Union, private companies eliminated an average of 13,500 jobs every week for the past 4 weeks of November. God. So, as we have on screen here, a quote from Dario Melanie, just in case you were wondering why Trump isn't releasing a jobs report. Yeah, it's because the numbers are bad. And then when they lie about the numbers, other sources come out and say, no.
On the other hand, Canada, we just released a jobs report and it's going pretty good.
Yes, so we are doing better.
Our government is more transparent. Wow. Another tweet from More Perfect Union on X, the Everything app. The FDA has suddenly dropped a proposed rule to require asbestos testing in cosmetics. Is this another step in making America healthy again?
Yes, Americans would be a lot healthier with asbestos.
Mm-hmm.
At asbestos, least, that's good. You know what? We should talk to Trump about this. Maybe we can sign a deal to exclusively provide America with 100% Canadian asbestos. Mm-hmm. We can bring American miners up here so we don't put Canadian lives at risk mining it. We can let them bring it home in little paper bags so it goes all airborne in the airplanes.
We removed the fluoride in the water, but we have to keep the asbestos in the cosmetics.
Asbestos is naturally occurring. Asbestos is naturally occurring in nature.
Yeah, right. So that means it's good for you.
Fluoride.
I'm sure RFK likes to sprinkle his deer carcasses with asbestos, give it a little flavor,
Yeah, it's like MSG.
Yeah, right.
Asbestos is most commonly found in products that contain talc. And when I mentioned this to a makeup user, that was what they said. They're like, oh, well, we already know that talc is like not good in makeup products. So most people avoid talc related stuff anyway. But like, the question wasn't testing for talc, it's testing for asbestos. So it's a matter of there is trace asbestos found commonly in talc because of they just occur naturally.
Yeah. Or just straight up asbestos.
Yeah. So I don't know why anyone would be like okay without having an asbestos test. If you're saying like there is something used in makeup that grows in the earth beside asbestos, and you're like, yeah, we'll test for the other thing, but we won't test for asbestos. Like, seems a bit
testing
off.
For dangerous chemicals is woke.
Yeah, test us for asbestos.
Yeah, only weak men test for asbestos. Real men breathe it in.
Back to the stock market. NVIDIA put out a little private memo at the end of November that we just only got access to at the end of November, saying a classic line that you love to hear when a stock market bubble is looming, that they are not Enron. So let's just, calm everyone down. NVIDIA is here to assure you that they are not Enron.
It's not Enron, guys. In private memo refuting accounting questions. NVIDIA also responds to claims that the current situation is analogous to historical accounting frauds, Enron, WorldCom, Lucent, that featured vendor financing and SPVs, special purpose vehicles. NVIDIA does not resemble historical accounting frauds because NVIDIA's underlying business is economically sound. Our reporting is complete and transparent, and we care about our reputation for integrity, the memo said. Unlike Enron, NVIDIA does not use special purpose entities to hide debt and inflate revenue. Uh-huh. Sure you don't.
Yeah, because they give all their money to their competitors and stuff to buy their own chips. Like, Enron didn't give money to companies to buy Enron stock. People bought Enron stock because they said it's going to keep getting bigger forever because the money doesn't run out. And so, yeah, the accounting is different because NVIDIA gives away more of its money to companies that are going to buy its chips. So there's way more of a circular investment thing going on with NVIDIA than any other company. So is it Enron? Not exactly, but will it collapse like Enron? I guess remains to be seen.
Only time will tell.
Please, time, tell me now. Anyway, Israel has continued killing Palestinians, and a couple days ago...
Ceasefire? What ceasefire? What?
Almost 2 weeks ago, I guess, there was a really bad story in Gaza where 2 kids were killed, 8 and 11-year-old, that the IDF called them terrorist suspects. They allegedly crossed that yellow line, that fake imaginary bullshit line.
They crossed the line!
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Do a little squib, make a little love, get down to like.
This enraged a lot of people, but it didn't really move the needle in a big way in the American and Western news cycles.
Americans are just used to dead children.
Dead children does not make the news anymore in America.
That's not newsworthy.
Especially dead brown children. Let's be real. So, remember, guys, Israel is still killing Palestinians. Don't listen to them. Actually, we don't have a story for this, but also in the last week,
the story got deleted off of Twitter, by the way.
That too.
We just have the screenshot of this article because we had like a whole Twitter post and article up, and it got deleted. So it got censored in real time.
Censorship is happening before our eyes.
Right as we were like pulling up tabs for this, it happened.
But I don't have a story for this thing that I'm about to mention. But that was that I guess related to Israel was that Eurovision had its big Israel moment.
Oh boy!
They had a big meeting. People that are fans of me that watch this show know that I'm very passionate about Eurovision. But unfortunately, Eurovision has had a Star of David shaped stain on it for the last 50 or so years, and Israel has been caught rigging the contest for the last 2 editions at least in a way that is very obvious, and every nation can tell that they are rigging it. They're buying televotes, and so the EBU put some new bullshit rules in, and they put forward a vote for all the European countries. Do you support the rule changes, yes or no? And it was an indirect way of saying, do you vote for Israel to stay in the contest? But it wasn't exactly that. And so the vote for the new rules passed, 800 or so support, 200 against, 100 abstained, but that was not enough. And so as a result, Spain, the Netherlands, Ireland, Iceland, and another country, I want to say Belgium, have all pulled out of the Eurovision Song Contest. They've lost. A country like the Netherlands that has been in it since the contest began in 1957 or 56. So that's huge. Spain, being a Big Five member of the EBU, contributes a lot of money to Eurovision each year. But the EBU has said that the costs of the contest will be just fine. So I guess Israel has been giving a lot more money to the contest than we have realized. So
I think with all of these dissenters jumping ship, I have a sneaking suspicion that Israel might win. Eurovision.
And
very likely could
and
happen.
then next year it'll be back in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, and the contest will finally end 71 years after it began.
Yeah, there's going to be so many people
thanks to a non-European nation.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hope more countries withdraw, not just because it would be funny and good, but if more countries withdrew, it would really hurt the EBU's ability to run a full show, because if they lose enough countries, it's not even going to be financially viable to have 2 semifinals anymore.
Man, what a time for Canada to try to latch onto Eurovision.
And that's why
when it's crumbling, right when it's falling apart.
But that's why we need to stay away from it right now, because it's literally, it has to survive this test. It can't be it can't have its reputation leveraged by other Western countries with good reputations. We cannot do that.
Yeah, Canada can't just waltz in at the last minute. Oh, hey guys, how's it going, eh?
Yeah.
Can we be in Eurovision?
I'm so disappointed.
Israel, what are you doing here?
So disappointed in Eurovision and EBU.
Right.
Before the rest of the world decides to denazify Israel, God might do it, because check out this cool video on YouTube. God's rain brought down a section of the Israeli separation apartheid wall in the West Bank.
That place that they supposedly respect.
Yeah, so it's just pretty epic.
The place where they apparently have a giant wall separating them.
Yeah, the wall.
Yeah, that's very respectful.
God famously loves giant
West
walls.
Bank. Yeah.
Ask Jericho. Israel's separation wall in Hebron collapses due to heavy flood. Yeah, honestly, the fact the wall collapsed is so funny. It just shows you that the Israelis are just as artificially on the land as all of this bullshit.
When the walls came tumbling down, the walls came tumbling.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, so there's no story for this from Al Jazeera, but according to sources on X, the Everything app, mobile phones have been exploding in the hands of Gaza residents. The second case in 2 days, there was a malfunction in mobile devices that were recently allowed into Gaza. They were inexplicably allowed despite Israel's tight controls over what goes into Gaza. They don't allow baby formula into Gaza.
Wow. This reminds me of SARS blankets.
Exactly.
You know, they gave them the blankets with the disease on them, and then they all died.
Smallpox
like
blankets.
Yeah, the smallpox blanket.
I
was thinking of the South Park episode.
Where
they rub the Chinese people with the SARS on the blanket.
Everyone grab a Chinese person and rub them on a blanket.
Oh my god, I can't.
You're gonna have fun with the clips on this one.
I can't believe that's where my mind went. Blanket. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, yes, it reminds me of that.
Yes, dear.
The SARS blankets. Yeah, they just handed out a bunch of cell phones out of the goodness of their hearts.
I don't know, if I was a Palestinian, I'd be mad sussy of getting a random free cell phone.
Yeah, right. Well played, Israel. Well played.
And by well played, of course, I mean disgusting.
Your evil and cruelty really knows no bounds. This is from I guess this is Al Jazeera, AJ Plus, Al Jazeera, on Twitter. Germany has welcomed at least 8 donkeys evacuated from Gaza, but it is delaying the entry of Palestinian children in need of medical evacuation. Wow. Germany will do anything to suck Israel's dick, won't they?
Save the donkeys.
Yay.
The Palestinian donkeys deserve more rights than the Palestinian people do. Yay.
Well, helping Palestinian children is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, because they're brown. Yay.
At least 8 donkeys from Gaza have been rescued and flown to Germany, according to German media. But Germany has reportedly only welcomed 2 Palestinian children from Gaza for medical treatment since October 7th. More than 42,000 children in Gaza have been injured during the 2 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Life-threatening injuries that require evacuation because Israel has collapsed Gaza's health system. Yep, they sure have. The UN said Germany had welcomed only 1 Palestinian patient. Come on, guys. Oh my God. More than 15,000 people, including nearly 4,000 children, still need urgent evacuation.
Yeah, but the Germans are too scared of the Palestinians, unfortunately.
Yeah. Several cities in Germany have offered to host Palestinian patients.
I mean, the German government.
But the federal government has paused such plans, with some officials claiming it could be a security problem. One German newspaper published a story about 4 donkeys being taken in by a local zoo. It mentioned, oh my God, it mentioned the donkeys suffering hunger and misery in Gaza without calling out Israel or mentioning Palestinian suffering.
Can you, like, in the edit, put in that stupid clip of that sad violin, like the, you know, like the video of like the sad mouse. Never mind, I'll show you after. Maybe it'll make sense. About
Basil Baker's Street?
No.
With the sad violin?
I mean, that's kind of similar, but not quite.
Israeli soldiers have been filmed firing at donkeys and other animals in Gaza. Oh my God, they're killing the animals.
Israelis will kill anything if it moves. Sad times,
sad,
at least the donkeys made it. So just remember that.
Donkey! Shit, Shrek, you won't believe the shit I just saw in Gaza. God damn! All right, let's move over to the Orient.
Whoa, hit that gong. So I recently watched a video about illegal fishing, particularly from Chinese vessels. It was a video on YouTube. I forget the name of the creator, Johnny something. But so it was basically talking about how boats have these transponders that you can see where they are in the ocean. And then sometimes they can go to the transponder and turn it off. And then 8 hours later, they turn it back on. And they are still where they're supposed to be. Wow, that's crazy. Where were they the whole time that the thing was off? Oh,
don't worry about it.
Illegally fishing in waters that are not theirs. So here is a bit of a clip of the Philippine Navy catching a Chinese fishing militia putting cyanide in the water to damage the reefs around the Philippines.
The BRP Sierra Madre. I guess that's a boat that they were doing it near.
Yes.
Yeah. Chinese vessels are wreaking havoc inside Philippines waters.
All national waters,
Yeah,
actually.
China Coast Guard and the Chinese fishing militia have already destroyed thousands of acres of coral reefs. China's illegal fishing activities have almost depleted Philippines' own fishing stock.
Yeah, like I know that I think I might have praised the Trump administration for having a space force on the show before, but can I say that it's about time we had like an
ocean force?
Ocean force, because like this shit's actually ridiculous, and it would be a really good opportunity for the globe to come together on something that is beneficial to all of us with a coastline. But then, of course, that increases the risk for confrontations.
Just roll up to them and catch them red-handed.
Yeah, but then you need the manpower to actually intimidate one of these fucking ghoulish nations like China that don't respect like natural, the environment.
What the fuck is this thing they got on board here? This little motor? Is that just the boat?
These
motor?
are the boats that they use because, at least if I understand this correctly, the Chinese fishing vessels, they are enormous boats, and they send out lots of little boats to go invade the waters without being detected as easily.
What are they trying to do? They're just like... Are they trying to just keep going on with it, even though people are trying to stop them?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Wow. Disgusting.
Yep, so just remember that, everyone.
Yeah, just when I thought I couldn't hate the Chinese fishing fleet anymore, here we see them destroying precious coral reefs in another nation's sovereign waters by pouring cyanide into the sea. Fucking cyanide.
Yep, truly, truly evil stuff. We're surrounded by so much evil in this world. Speaking of evil.
Going from China to Japan. Japan's same-sex marriage ban is constitutional, says Tokyo court. A Japanese court has ruled, this is from the BBC, a Japanese court has ruled the country's ban on same-sex marriage as constitutional, bucking a trend set by courts around the country that had raised hopes for marriage equality in Japan.
Japan is the only G7 country that does not fully recognize same-sex couples or offer them clear legal protection. But it's not an outlier in Asia, where only Taiwan, Thailand, and Nepal offer same-sex marriages.
Wow. Ayumi Higashi, the judge who delivered the verdict, said laws on same-sex marriage should be first deliberated in Parliament, the newspaper Mainichi reported.
The Japanese government needs to be proactive in moving towards the legalization of same-sex marriage so that couples can fully enjoy the same marriage rights as their heterosexual counterparts. East Asia researcher Boram Zhang said in a statement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Japan just elected like a right-wing nationalist prime minister, so
yeah,
this is not a surprise at all. I remember like we covered this recently, like people were getting their hopes up about this.
Yeah.
That like, oh man, they're about to legalize same-sex marriage in Japan. I'm pretty sure we covered this in a previous episode. And I remember even then being cautious about it and being like, don't get your hopes up, people. And yeah, here we are. Nothing new.
Not totally new, no. Japan. Just an update.
Yeah. Last piece of news.
Much like the plunging birth rate in Japan and likewise nations where there are no children and the sounds of laughter have ceased in the streets, the sounds of blue whales in the ocean has decreased as well. This little article here, blue whales going eerily silent as vocalizations dropped nearly 40% alongside a collapse in krill and anchovy populations. It's like trying to sing while you're starving.
They were spending all their time just trying to find food. So these big, majestic giants may be gone in our lifetime. The majestic blue whale. No, I'm not subscribing to your fucking newsletter. God damn it. I'm trying to weep over this majestic animal.
Weep over the blue whale.
And I get bombarded with ads in my fucking face. Like, it just never ends. It just doesn't stop. I don't get a moment's peace.
Well, we were going to talk
Subscribe to our newsletter, guys.
We were going to talk about the blue whales, but I guess now we'll just talk about how I've been feeling that exact same thing. Remember, I was telling you I was feeling this like logo fatigue or ad fatigue. Like, this is a thing that's actually going around. I got a YouTube video about it the other day in my feed. Like, what is ad fatigue and why you're not the only person feeling it? Yeah.
Now they want to fucking start broadcasting ads in our dreams somehow and like integrating ads. They want to use AI to integrate ads into TV shows. Did you see that?
The video that I watched talked about like the interest in companies to put ads on your TV even when it's off in your house.
So like it'll just turn on and play an
It'll
ad?
just have ads like in standby mode at all times. Did you hear about the woman who like checked herself into a mental facility because her fucking fridge advertised to her by name and she was like, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
It like said her name?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
that's fucked up. I don't want that.
Are you sure that's what the future is, though?
I don't
and there's
want
no way to stop it.
personalized ads that like mention me by name. That's creepy.
Yeah, but according to the companies that are making it, there's no way to avoid it.
We don't like this.
According to the companies,
the consumers do not enjoy this.
Yeah, but according to the companies that are doing it, it's unavoidable.
The people who are like perpetrating it?
Yeah.
The people who are putting it in place?
Well, yeah, they want it, so you can't do anything to stop it, actually. You can't.
The people who are buying the products can't do anything about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the future everyone wants.
The future!
Wow, look at this trash.
Speaking of ads, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, what a great transition that we definitely planned.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so, woman named Carol thought she was having a psychotic episode because her fridge showed her a Pluribus ad, which is a show on Apple TV.
Yeah, there's just a picture of a fridge here. It says, "We're sorry we upset you, Carol." Was this just a coincidence? Is there just a character named Carol on Pluribus? Anyway, it's really fucked up that there's just advertising on fridges and stuff now.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
And Clonny Pin Gosh on Twitter says, when ARG advertising goes wrong. Fucking crazy that Apple can just hijack people's fridges like that. You'll eat the leftovers and have every inch of your personal life and attention span commodified.
I mean, I don't know about it being an Apple fridge, like Apple hijacking the fridge. I think it's just Apple paying for ad space on probably a Samsung tablet in a fridge. Because, like, Apple doesn't make fridges.
Yeah, right.
But Apple definitely makes TV shows.
Yep, they sure do. Yeah, Apple TV Plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're
Technology.
sorry we upset you, Carol.
You're going to have ads running in your eyelids every second of every day.
Yeah, instead of the future being the 3-hour workday where everyone is upper rich middle class like in the Jetsons, and yes, it is a 3-hour workday in the Jetsons, or maybe it's a 3-hour work week. I forget exactly what it is, but I know it's 3 hours. So instead of having that and still being able to live comfortably, we all just are going to be in squalor with permanent 24/7, never-ending, bright LED screens of advertisements.
Buy our products. Buy our stuff. Consume.
With money you don't have.
Consume.
Goonsume. I really want to try and force Goonsume into the zeitgeist. Yeah, all the Goonsumers out there.
Here's Dear Leader Trump talking about how much he loves kids.
I love kids, Charlie. I love kids.
Well, not really. But.
For minors, do we love minors? I love minors.
So
I love minors.
There's a chance that if you're a loyal listener of this show, that you might also catch some of those late night fellers like Fallon or Kimmel or Colbert or Myers or Daily Show. I don't watch Fallon, but I watch all the rest of them. And this is one of the benefits to watching all of those late night guys, is that when I come here to record this show, I can provide unique insight if some of you might not have the time to watch all those guys. They always talk about different stuff. Sometimes they talk about the same stuff, but from different angles, and it gives me very interesting perspectives to look at and analyze. But for this specific clip, the Trump saying, "We love minors, I love minors," on the Daily Show with Daisy Leidick on the episode from yesterday, she was talking about how she was watching this like Trump speech on Fox live, like at her house. She's like, I was watching it with the captions, like, and she's like, with the captions on, because I'm a Zoomer, don't Google it. And the captions, she actually showed it. Like, I'd like to imagine that Desi Leidick has this, took the clip on her phone and brought it into the Daily Show the next day, because the clip was the live captioner for the live Trump speech, typing "I love minors," spelling it MINORS.
Oh my!
And then
God.
when he says the next line, "We love minors" or whatever, you see the caption guy go back and change the MIONO to the ER. Like, he changes it because he realizes mid talk that Trump is not talking about children, actually.
I love minors.
Like, maybe,
I mean, they want minors to be minors.
Maybe
they want kids to go back into the coal mine.
Not a minor, a minor.
And even for the YouTube like audience, just to watch the caption, you never see that happen. You never see the live caption person like go back. That doesn't happen. You get fired for doing that. So that's actually crazy. Anyway, next.
I love how like it was just so expected of Trump to say that they just went with that spelling.
I love
of
minors.
course Trump loves minors.
Of course. Oh, yes. So, so that kind of a right-wing trash thing is that the top 10 anti-Semites of the year dropped, and it was a pretty big deal by Stop Anti-Semitism, I believe was the account that did it. And it's not a real organization. It's one woman in New York with a mental illness who just hates people that support Palestine. And so the second choice of the top 10, number 1 was Tucker Carlson for top anti-Semite of the year. Second place was Miss Rachel, who is famously anti-Semitic for saying that wanting kids to live is not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And so we have a very famous far-right Zionist pig, Eve Fartlow, as she is known on Hassanabi streams. Eve Fartlow, she says, "This is blood libel. It's that simple. If you don't understand why, you don't know the first thing about Jew hatred." So yeah, apparently wanting kids to live is grounds for anti-Semitism.
Yeah, wanting Palestinian children to not die.
Does that threaten you? Are you threatened by brown children?
Well, yes. Well, it threatens the sovereignty of Israel or something.
That's true. Yeah. So they have to be eradicated?
They have to die.
Speaking of Nazi slips.
Yeah, this is funny.
Pete Hegseth from the Secretary of War.
Secretary.
At on his little name folding card thing at the latest Trump whole glaze fest that happened, his name was, the title that he has was spelled incorrectly with like a snake wrote it.
Yeah, Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War with 2 S's.
SS?
Whoa.
Susan Sarandon is here. Ladies and gentlemen.
Freudian slip or Nazi Easter egg?
Call it.
I could totally see Hegseth doing this on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
Just like sneaking it in.
Yeah, so just
I bet he does dog whistles like this all the fucking time.
Yeah, I bet he loves dog whistles.
God, I fucking hate my 4chan ran government. Actually so annoying. Yeah, no kidding. Astro, I feel you.
Yep, bunch of Zoomers accidentally seized power and now everyone's regretting it.
You don't get to play the Freudian slip card when every Freudian slip also just happens to be a Nazi Easter egg.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Occasionally, the subtext is just text.
Whoops, I accidentally did some Nazi shit. Silly me. I keep doing that. That's like the 4th time this hour.
Yeah.
Oh, this actually ended up happening, didn't it? The Piers Morgan.
Yeah, actually, I did
thing?
sit through the full 2 hours. So.
Yeah.
On screen right now, we have the open invitation from Piers Morgan to Nick Fuentes to come and
everyone's favorite
debate,
kissless incel virgin.
Yes, to come and debate on his show. And Nick accepted the invitation on Twitter, said, "Let's set it up. Looking forward to it." And
it happened.
It happened. I watched all 2 hours, and so I can save everyone here the time and say that Nick Fuentes admitted that he is a racist.
And he also admitted that he's never had sex.
Yes. He also admitted he's never loved anyone.
Yeah, and tampons are gross. Like, this dude is like a 12-year-old.
Nick
Fuentes
really admitted that COVID is second to cooties for the most infectious disease.
Yeah. Look at this dude. He looks like a fucking 12-year-old in a suit that's too big for him. Like he's so, the way he carries himself, he's just so obnoxiously immature. It really pisses me off in a way that a lot of other right-wing people don't. Like, you know, I hate Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh and all those people, but like none of them are quite as annoying as Nick Fuentes is. Like, he's on another level, really.
Yeah, there's something unique about Nick's way of
I hate poor people. I hate women. I'm going to go play Call of Duty and call someone the N-word.
He totally does that. You just know he does that. While fucking his femboy, cat boy boyfriend that he definitely has.
Femboy, cat boy, cat girl boyfriend.
Yeah, cat girl boyfriend, cat.
But yeah, so this happened. The 2 hours was fine. It wasn't that great, honestly. Nick is not someone who can sit well for an interview because he is just a Zoomer type.
Because he's an ADHD little 12-year-old.
He just tweaks around, you know, he can't sit still, can't answer a freaking question, can't even stand to have the words that he says repeated back to him because he thinks that you're trying to pull a gotcha and try like lying. So he's just not smart. He's not able to be confronted with reality, even if it's his own, because it's the only perspective that matters to him is his own. And it's why he's so powerful behind a chat screen and not like he wouldn't be able to do this would be the kind of thing that if it was clipped, like the Groypers would come after us, is that like there's no way that Nick has anywhere of the balls to do what Charlie Kirk did, which was actually confront people and have his views confronted. Like, was Charlie ever someone who would like relent himself or give any ground up on his beliefs? No. But like he sat there and he took it and he let people actually like use his language. And if they scored a quote unquote like point in a debate, at least he would acquiesce that much and he would come back harder with another point. And he would like, Charlie actually fought. Nick, I was so not, I can't even say disappointed because I didn't have expectations, but he was just so pathetic in the Piers Morgan interview. Piers has lately kind of been looking a little bit better. Piers is like the kind of, neoliberal where it's like, oh, he's kind of wokening up a little bit. But that's because next to incompetent imps like Nick Fuentes, who can't argue their stances in good faith, who can't rationalize their beliefs without falling into like stupid stories from their childhood or whatever. It's like, so of course Piers Morgan is going to look like some hero for the left in comparison to the like shapeless ball of hate that is Nick J. Fuentes.
Nicolas Fuentes.
I
get off screen.
But MAGA strikes again, baby.
Yeah.
Making
Rush
America
Hour 4. Here we go. At the personal request of Donald J. Trump.
Rush Hour 4, Paramount Network, David Ellison getting to work.
Yeah. Paramount, I want Rush Hour 4. I like Jackie Chan.
Trump might have promised to end the Ukraine war on day one, which didn't happen. But
God damn it, we're getting Rush Hour 4.
Rush Hour 4 is what I voted for.
Yes. What I voted for?
I voted for Donald J. Trump.
You snuck into the States and voted
with Vice President Rush Hour 4 starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
I didn't even know they made a Rush Hour 3, but I'm not surprised.
To all our viewers, we are very Canadian, so we did not vote in American election.
No.
That's the joke.
Yes. Yay, Rush Hour 4.
But if I could have voted in the American election, I would have voted for Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, so my vote would have been thrown out. What about you?
I would have penciled in Bernie Sanders.
I would have just like voted up for both, handed it back to them, and it'd just be like, really? Yeah.
I would take a Polaroid of my dick,
and that's more of a shit post than anything. Because like that's a genuine shit post because I don't need to answer the question. I have no reason to answer the question.
Yeah.
Because like it's America and it's a piece of shit and it's not my problem. But you guys need to get your shit together.
Has Chris Tucker been in anything
No.
recently? Is he doing anything?
No.
Neither is Jackie Chan.
Well, Jackie Chan's been in China.
Yeah, he's been in China being shitty towards women.
Yeah,
and saying
that
they
too.
shouldn't be acting or something. I don't know. So they're resurrecting this bloated corpse so that this other bloated corpse can have something to watch.
Yay, corpses.
Yay.
Honestly,
I'm gonna
underrated.
Eat some KFC and
they
watch
talk
Rush Hour
about
4.
they talk about, what did the medieval peasants do all day? And really underrated form of entertainment, watching bloated corpses go down a river. Like that was peak entertainment in those days. Like you'd place bets.
Yeah.
Which ones would bonk?
How do you bet? You want to bet that they're going to do like a Rush Hour marathon at the White House Theater when this comes out?
I hope that they get the production of this accelerated so fast that they somehow manage to premiere it in combination with the UFC fight that they're going to do at the White House next year.
Oh my!
I hope they get it done so fast.
That. Oh,
I want it to be the biggest event of the world. Let's go.
The biggest event of the world
in America. I mean, that's how every American event is, right? It's the biggest global event in the world in America.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Looks like old Erica Kirk had a little baby.
No.
No?
No, she's hoping she is.
Oh, she hopes she's pregnant.
So Jance Dance Vance must be pounding the cramps out of her now that Charlie is dead. And so she is going in her, in her little fake tear crying publicity circuit where she's now saying that she's hoping that she was pregnant at the time that Charlie was killed because she wants to have his last baby.
Yeah.
So I like this tweet. Me when I soft launch my illegitimate child.
Yeah, she's laying the groundwork for when
an
it
immaculate
happens.
Charlie Kirk conception, but the window for that's running out, right?
Yeah,
because Charlie was killed on September 12th, I believe, is the date. Because I have reasons to remember the date, so I'm pretty sure that we are like 3. If you were pregnant,
no, it was the 10th. It was the day before.
Oh yeah, 9/11. September 10th. Yeah, the day before 9/11. That's right. Yeah,
I care so little that I also forgot.
But yeah, so actually 3 months ago today, from when we started recording this. So if you were pregnant in late or mid September, I think you would start to show signs of it by now. I don't know if you can get away with it now.
Yeah.
So I don't think Erica's pregnant.
Could you imagine like a couple months from now, she's like, "Oh, I finally am pregnant. The Lord."
I didn't even notice.
There was Charlie's sperm residue was in my vaginal canal, and it finally wormed its way in.
The window to fake this thing is running way out.
Your pal CJ on Twitter says, "What's the story going to be when the baby comes out looking like this?"
And it's that classic,
the bald JD Vance,
the Jance Dance Vance.
The Campbell's chicken noodle soup guy went on a bit of a rant, apparently.
Yes. So for those who didn't hear, Campbell's exec said, "Quote: We have shit for fucking poor people. Who buys our shit? I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy now that I know what the fuck's in it. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer."
Wow.
So we said that, and it kind of blew up like crazy.
Mm-hmm. We have more.
Go back
where?
Because this is a quote.
Oh yeah, it's a quote tweet. Because kill these people.
I shared this post because it's a sentiment that I agree with. We have to kill these people because they clearly don't care if they kill us by their incompetence. They want to sell us as cheap a slot product as possible, untested, unproven. Just put it in the label in the can that everyone trusts, and people will question it. And then when it kills you, people won't suspect you because it'll just be, it's just Campbell's. What's the worst it could do, right? But also, the second thing is that Twitter flagged this tweet. Of course, it's harmful, violent speech rules, sure. But then the third reason I included this is that recently, just the subject of killing rich people has rubbed some of the older people in my life the wrong way, and specifically, I'm going to say my life, because the directness of this criticism has been really weird. It's been like people are like all acknowledging that I said something regarding killing rich people, but no one is actually willing to like call it out directly. Everyone's been really avoidant about it, which means that it's not the rich part. What I said was like kill billionaires, and it wasn't the billionaire part that people had a problem with. It was the kill part. And I'm just like, well, that's really interesting because most billionaires exploit a lot of people to get rich. Mm-hmm. So which
includes killing them.
Like
directly or indirectly.
One of the people that sort of griped was my grandmother, and I love my grandmother, but like when she was talking about like, oh, rich people get into heaven. What are you saying that rich people don't get into heaven? And I'm like,
that's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. And she's like, that's not what Jesus said.
It's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yes.
That is in the Bible. That is a Jesus quote.
Well, apparently not enough.
That is a Jesus quote.
It's great. No. She believes in the kind of Christianity that allows all the rich people to go to heaven and buy their way to heaven. I believe that that's reformist or some other kind. Yeah, no, you're right. Jesus did say that.
I'm not wrong, right?
No, it's marked 10:23 or so like that.
Matthew 19:24, and it's also in the Quran. He says it 3 times in the Bible, in 3 separate books. Oh my God.
Yeah, so like
your grandma needs to fucking crack her Bible open again. You told her. You
well, it was
that,
funny.
Right? Please tell me you quoted that to her.
So I kind of misquoted it to her, unfortunately. I quoted, I think, the line or two before that specific, like, camel through the eye of a needle part. Like, I had the first part, but when I copied it into the text message to her, it only got the first and not the meat, which I know everyone knows the camel through the eye of the needle part, but like, yeah. When I tried to talk to her about some of this stuff before, she was like, oh, is that New Testament or Old Testament? We don't really do the Old Testament. And
it's Jesus.
It's so funny how selective people are to just like maintain the facade of religion. Yeah. Like, you very clearly don't believe in it. You've never given it much more thought than just like, this is the thing that I think of to like keep me warm and tuck me in at night.
This is one of his like big quotes. Too.
Yeah,
this is one of the big ones.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah, just incredible ignorance there. And so when we talk about, is it morally right to kill rich people? The answer is
yes.
Usually yes, because in order for someone to get that kind of ungodly level of rich, the amount of exploitation and human suffering that has to go on in a system of exploitation that allows for this sort of wealth accruation is not tenable. You can't build a society on this and expect it to last forever.
So let me just clarify here. It is totally fine for a rich person to openly admit gleefully and with malice that they package poison to people. They put disgusting chemicals and 3D printed meat, quote unquote, into a can and sell it to you and, make you smile and eat the shit. But then when someone else says these people need to die for doing that, so somehow that's wrong. You see the double standard there,
It is a massive double standard. Yeah. And like I said earlier in the show, there was a societal agreement that, we participate in society, you pay us what we're worth, and in exchange, we don't kill you. And it seems like the business owner sitting in the Campbell's boardroom, just sitting around laughing and having a big chuckle about how they feed poison to people, perhaps they need an awakening. I don't know. American viewers, write in with your suggestions. How should we enlighten the Campbell's executives?
Yeah. Oh, we have more from the rich guy's little rant here. An employee recorded the hour-long rant, including racist comments about Indians. Lovely. And the exec admitting to showing up to work high. Okay, that part's funny. When he reported it, Campbell didn't fire the exec. They fired the whistleblower. Are you kidding me?
The Boeing model.
Really? They fired the whistleblower.
I can't even read the rest of the quote here that he said about Indians. It's kind of not like there's not much to really say.
Yeah. The recording lasted longer than an hour and 15 minutes and included a disgusting rant about his coworkers. Fucking Indians don't know a fucking thing. They couldn't think for their fucking selves. That's not even like creatively racist.
No, it's not.
It's like, at least be creative with your racism.
He just needed
They're just dumb.
The name
They're
of a group.
stupid.
He could have said anything there.
At least call them a towel head or something.
Not even creative racism.
Wow.
So lazy. These literal like mediocre white men falling into these like well-paying management executive positions are not even like the mean funny ones.
Fucking
now.
dumb Indians.
They're just
so
the dumb coasters.
And they're Indians and they're dumb and they can't think.
And they're dumb.
And they're dumb.
Yeah. Thanks, Campbell's. Yeah. Obviously, Campbell's soup.
Yummy.
Not good for your brain.
Apparently not.
Speaking of brain worms.
Oh, Milo.
So we're not going to tell everyone at home who Milo Yiannopoulos is. He's just some washed up
fucking loser.
Yeah, he's like if JJ McCullough had like minus swag because he wasn't even just not that he's an American JJ, but he like a European born like
he's like
to America.
He's like punished JJ McCullough.
But he's not American.
That's a Metal Gear
born,
Solid reference,
right? But he's not American born.
No, he's British.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but he's so he's the British version of JJ McCullough, where he's like really, really wants to ingratiate himself in American culture by way of like Ian Miles Chong, except that Milo has always found himself in sort of the right place at the right time, or at least for the first 10 years of his career. He was on top of like the Gamergate stuff, and he was Kanye's manager during some of the worst bits. But
yeah. So Milo is a formerly gay conservative spokesperson because he went through a whole anti-gay arc. Did you not know this?
No.
Oh my! You didn't know this?
No.
He went through a whole arc where he found Jesus again and like divorced his black husband, but they're still roommates though.
Whoa.
They're totally
with
still
benefits,
roommates, guys. And he took off his wedding ring, which he called his sodomy ring.
Whoa.
And he threw it into the ocean on camera.
The one ring.
And he was like, "I'm not gay anymore. I regret being a sodomite. Now let me go home with my black roommate while we make stir fry."
So anyway.
So yeah, that guy. Oh, and he also, weird connection here. I mentioned Deep Fat Fried as one of my favorite podcasts. The guys who run that podcast had an older podcast called Drunken Peasants, and Milo Yiannopoulos was a guest on the Drunken Peasants, and that was the clip where he talked about how molesting kids is good.
people are messy and complex, and actually in a homosexual world particularly, some of those relationships between younger boys and older men, the sort of coming of age relationships, the relationships in which those older men help those young boys to discover who they are and give them security and safety and provide them with love and a reliable and sort of a rock where they can't speak to their parents. Some of those relationships are some
like
of the most
molestation to me. It sounds
well,
like
you know what?
It sounds like Catholic priest molestation to me.
And you know what? I'm grateful for Father Michael. I wouldn't give nearly such good head if it wasn't for him.
Oh my god! I can't handle it.
Oh,
you remember that clip?
That clip.
Yeah, that's from the Drunken Peasants.
Wow.
He was talking to TJ and Paul and Scotty during that clip.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's Milo saying, "I love how utterly ashamed every single Canadian is of being from there." Just this one simple thing. It's a right-wing trash segment. That's it. That's the whole tweet.
Yeah, he just wanted to dunk on Canada for a while.
I don't know, Canadian viewers. Are you ashamed of being Canadian? Please
no.
Sound off in the comments. Let us know on social media. Let us know that you are seeing our posts on social media.
I'd rather be a Canadian than an American.
Let us know how proud you are to be a Canadian instead of an American, or a Brit pretending to be an American, or a gay Brit pretending to be a straight American, whichever applies to you.
With his big buff black roommate in their totally platonic relationship.
You know, this is not your worst idea.
Wow, that was almost a compliment.
Your worst idea is what you did with your ears.
All right, let's talk some movies.
Cinema.
No.
Why would you do that to me? Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, well, you've been fucking going Fridays for like the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So karma, bitch.
Well, at least that's a real melody.
So yeah,
that sounds like a car horn.
We watched Zootopia 2. We watched the new cartoon animal furry movie from Disney. Wow, cartoon
There's furries
animal
in this movie.
Cartoon animal police people doing detective work, and also there's an Israeli-Palestine metaphor in there somewhere.
What? Another one?
Yeah. This movie was way better than the first one, I must admit. The first one really didn't leave that much an impression on me. I don't even remember what the plot was. Oh yeah, there was that flower that was like turning people crazy.
Gay.
Yeah, turning them gay.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay!
And there was some kind of like thinly veiled prejudice allegory that was actually going to be way better handled in the original draft of the film. But we didn't get that version.
Yeah,
of the
don't get
film.
me going on that.
Yeah, you have a whole thing about that. But yeah, this movie was way better than the first one. I was way more engaged. The villains were way better. The plot was way better. The mystery, the intrigue was way better done this time. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I'm a sucker for cartoon animals. So I'll watch anything that has anthropomorphic animals in it, even if it's terrible. But, you know, this one was actually good. You even gave this one, 3 stars? Which is a big thing for you, because I know how much you hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I keep thinking about Zootopia 2, I'm just going to continue to soften on it. And, like, I definitely have softened on it from where I was at the time.
Like, you think less of it?
Yeah, like, I hated the first Zootopia so viscerally that for this to be better, it wouldn't have taken much. And I think maybe that kind of blinded me initially, because, like, there's moments in this film that I want to give it credit for like doing world building well, but then like 10 seconds later it'll do something that contradicts that, and then I have to take the point away. So like there were more points at which I laughed in this movie, definitely more gags that I liked, but still confusing choices that took me right out of the film. Like every time the snake character shows up, who's voiced by Ke Huy Quan, who is from
Short Round
and everything, everywhere all at once, the Oscar winning actor. Every time he shows up as the snake character, there's like a Music of the Orient musical cue that hits. Yeah, it's like, it's ridiculous. It's like, I get it. We're clearly doing an immigrant metaphor because the reptiles are voiced by Mexicans and Chinese men.
Mexicans and Asians.
I mean, Ke Huy Quan is not Chinese. I think he's Vietnamese, but either way, you know, quote unquote foreigner types. So like, if that's the metaphor they're drawing, okay. But why do we need to hit the gong every time the snake shows up, though? I don't understand.
Because they're gonna get it on, so you gotta bang a gong.
So
bang a gong.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have given this a 3 in the letterbox, but I might soften it to 2.5.
No, leave it at a 3. Come on, it was good. Come on,
especially with how terrible the song is. It better not catch on.
Okay, the Shakira song was so much.
How is it worse than Try Everything from the first movie?
Well,
I don't get it.
Because Ed Sheeran wrote it. I guess.
And you know what? Sia might be a corporate like songwriter goon, but at least she doesn't write as soulless of a pop songs as Ed Sheeran can write at his worst. And unfortunately, that's what he did with this movie.
Yeah, good movie. Unlike the first one, I could actually see myself watching this one again.
Yeah, but then I would probably give it a 2.
Yeah. I think Judy Hopps' ass alone is worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah, there's a part in the movie where like Judy is like injured. I don't want to spoil too much. But she's like straight up arching her back as she's like on the ground writhing.
She's like got her ass right up in the air like she's doing some yoga.
Her ass is taking up at least 40% of the screen.
And I'm not complaining. And don't get me wrong, I ain't complaining.
Yeah, when you watch the movie in cinemas and you get to that scene, do a quick scan around the theater and see how many people's hands you can see.
Yeah, how many people have got their hands in the popcorn bucket.
We shall call him Pepper.
Pepper?
Because he really spiced up our lives.
Frankenstein! Funkestein! Dr. Funkestein.
Yeah, Dr. Funkystein.
I am Dr. Funkenstein, and this is my lab.
We watched Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein adaptation. This is
courtesy of Netflix.
Yeah, this is the golden goose that Del Toro's been talking about for quite a few years now. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the whole reason he made that Pinocchio movie, is because that was basically like a test. It was like a test run for this Frankenstein thing. Because I remember when that Pinocchio movie came out, which is a great movie, by the way.
Yeah, so good.
I remember when that came out, and he was like ranting and raving about like, what I really want to do is make a Frankenstein movie. And so here it is. He got his wish, and
I don't have anything to say about it.
I don't know.
You know the book a lot better than I do, and you had a lot more thoughts about the things that were deviated from and the reasoning.
It's a short book, people. Like, it is really not a long book. Like, there's not a lot of shit that you need to cover. And, like, there's, like, barely enough stuff from the book here. Like, there's so much shit that they add. Like, all that bullshit with Christoph Waltz being, like, I'm gonna spoil a little bit here, because I don't give a fuck. Everybody's seen this movie. That's one of the most talked about movies of the year. With Christoph Waltz being that crazy, like, investor guy, like, picking the laboratory with Victor and shit. And that whole subplot that just goes nowhere, because Christoph Waltz just dies before the main plot even kicks in. I don't know. This just reeks of, like, Del Toro just having too much of a blank check to work with.
Yeah.
This is just way too self-indulgent.
He got his ideas of death and themes of death across a lot better in Pinocchio. In this one, it kind of got too bloated in itself. And it's like the first time the character, and I think the only time they mentioned chi.
Oh my god!
As being like a body energy, I was
not expecting to hear that.
What the fuck movie am I watching?
I was not expecting to hear that in a fucking Frankenstein movie.
And also, like, if you are a Frankenstein purist, they changed the date or the time period in which it's set in, and that actually impacts the story in, I think, negative ways.
Yeah, because the book came out in like 1814, very early 1800s, and they set it in like the late 1800s, 1850s to 70s, which, like, there was a big technological leap at that time. And also, why is the monster immortal? Why is that a thing? That wasn't a thing in the book.
No, that's definitely a spoiler.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Well, that's also a spoiler.
Yeah, who fucking cares? I don't care. This movie sucks. This reminded me a lot of the Kenneth Branagh movie, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Although I think that one was more faithful to the book and did a way better job. This just felt very self-indulgent. You can tell Del Toro is really working through some demons here. He's got some bone to pick about mortality or something. You mentioned, like, maybe he has some horrible terminal disease that he hasn't disclosed yet, and he's, like, working through it in some way.
Yeah, he thinks he's being subtle right now, making every film so obviously about death and coping with death, but like, It's not subtle, Guillermo. Do you need someone to talk to?
And I mentioned to you earlier, it's like, much like the early 90s, we got a Dracula movie and a Frankenstein movie released very close to each other. And also, just like the early 90s, the Dracula movie was way better. Because we got Bram Stoker's Dracula and Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, which are both way better movies than the Frankenstein movies. So,
yeah, I don't remember what I gave this, but it's definitely
I gave it like a 2.
Yeah,
and I was sad, man. I was expecting to love this because again, I loved Pinocchio, and
I was expecting it the bare minimum, the level of filmmaking that I saw in Nosferatu, and I didn't even really see that. It felt closer to Van Helsing level of filmmaking.
Yeah, I was reminded of Van Helsing a lot.
Do you like to fly?
And there's a lot of like Pan's Labyrinth style Del Toro nonsense, which just doesn't.
No, it doesn't work for Frankenstein.
It doesn't work. It feels very out of place. But yeah, I loved Pinocchio, and I remember him saying back then, like, Frankenstein is going to be my next masterpiece. Just you wait until I make the Frankenstein movie. And yeah,
well,
Pinocchio
at least
was
the
way
fact
better.
that this was released through Netflix means that when it's completely ignored by all the awards, then he can shut up about it and move on to making something that's actually good.
Yeah, and of course I can't help but bring up Richard Williams. This reminds me a lot of the Roger Rabbit situation where like he made Roger Rabbit just in service of getting The Thief and the Cobbler made, which was his like big magnum opus.
Thank you. Thanks. The best is yet to come.
But you know, in the process of making and fumbling eventually, ultimately, his magnum opus, we at least got Roger Rabbit in the process, which, you know, is objectively a better movie. I hate to say.
And Pinocchio is definitely
Pinocchio is a way better movie than fucking Frankenstein. So it's just funny that it was just made as like, I don't want to say an afterthought, but definitely Del Toro definitely had his mind somewhere else.
The contract stipulation film was better than the film.
Yeah, exactly. He definitely had his mind somewhere else when he made Pinocchio, but better movie than this boring slog.
Yeah,
that barely bears any resemblance to the
too long
book. Yeah, the book is so short. Why is it fucking like 2.5 hours?
There's no way that'll work.
This movie sucked ass, dude.
Speaking of bad movies.
Yeah, this was bad.
Yeah, we went and got the cinema experience for this at 10 p.m. So it was all of the adults who, you know, were in high school when the first FNAF game came out like 10 years ago, like I was. But even then, most of us were kind of cringing and like moaning throughout the film because it was just exhausting. Just like the first film, there was worries that they would spend too much time on the human bullshit. They definitely spent too much time on the human crap in the second film, though some of the monster or quote unquote animatronic stuff was better, I guess you could say.
There were more jump scares in this one.
Yeah, and they kind of did more out in the real world compared to the first movie, which was cool. Because like the first movie had that highlight scene with the animatronics killing those break-in people. That was probably the height of the creep factor in that one. This one has a scene sort of similar, but not quite. They montage it to feel like that, but it's also spread out that it gives you a tough like feeling. It doesn't feel as scary, nowhere near a horror film. This is definitely like, you could almost say it's fan service, but there just even wasn't enough fan service that as a very, very mild fan, such as myself, of FNAF, and mostly just lingering high school, like relative positive vibes from the franchise before I tapped out of it for it being too big. Like from even just the stuff I know, I wasn't impressed. So
so I know even less about Five Nights at Freddy's than you do. My FNAF knowledge is basically just I watched Markiplier and PewDiePie play the first 2 games back in like 2012, 2013, whenever the hell they came out.
Oh, Jesus!
Was that the bite of 87?
And even then, already by the second game, I was like, there's way too much lore going on. in this game. Like there's so many like extra animatronics. I was like, wait, who's that guy? Who's this guy? What's that guy doing over there? Who's that? What's this? You know, like there's just so much like unnecessary backstory going on. And that's I checked out so early, and there's what, like 5-6 games now?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's so much shit, and you can really tell that they didn't like plan any of it out. They were just like writing it as they went along, and now they've got this whole convoluted mess and they have to pay homage to all of it in the movies. And I don't know any of the actual like the extended lore. I know someone got bitten in 1987.
The bite of 87?
Was that the bite of 87?
I know that.
We did not see the bite of 87.
Like why are there like a bunch of different versions of the same suits? There's like different locations that all had creepy haunted shit happen to them in more than one location. I don't know. Like I don't know any of the lore, but it really felt like they were cramming.
Same killer.
Same killer in all of them? Oh, yeah, because he's like the franchise operator.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. But yeah, it really felt like they were just cramming as much as they could into the story and like trying to pay homage and pay fan service to all this different shit. And I don't know, they forgot to make a scary movie.
Yeah, they really
forgot
did.
to make a good horror movie in the process.
It's kind of disappointing because we just saw like Night Swim not that long ago, and that's also Blumhouse, and that was significantly a better horror film.
Fucking Night Swim
with a
was
better concept.
A haunted pool movie was better than a movie about haunted animatronics
from a beloved, like, huge franchise.
Yeah.
So yeah, very disappointing.
And it's really something about like how much lore you reveal in your movie, like how much lore is necessary to include to make it a good movie. Because I mentioned this when we were leaving the theater, the Blair Witch Project. Great movie on its own, very self-contained movie, but there's actually a ton of lore that you can explore on your own. Like there was a whole documentary, The Curse of the Blair Witch, that was like it was like what's the word? It was done in kayfabe, so it's like they pretended it was real, just like the movie itself. And there was like online blogs and articles that you could read, like detailing the history of Rustin Parr, the serial killer. But all of that is supplementary. Like, you don't need to know any of that stuff. You can put on the Blair Witch Project and just enjoy it as a self-contained horror movie without knowing any of the backstory. But with this movie, I felt like I missed the assignment. I felt like I forgot to do my homework, and I came in the next class and I had no idea what was going on because I missed the lecture. You know, I felt like I missed out on like 5 pages of notes.
Yeah,
you know. I felt like I was missing out on a lot, and that's never a good thing.
Yep, I have a few scenes in this that I have thought on that like should have been done differently if this was really a horror film. Like there's a scene in the film where they like reveal the backup costumes, because like and in that shot where it is quick in the way that like they're all of these backup mascot costumes are seen. It's like, whoa, and the fans are like, whoa, those are the costumes. But like the way it was shot just wasn't like a horror film. It was just shot to be like, here they are. You know they're going to come, but when are they going to come? Yeah. But it was not shot to be like creepy. Like it wasn't shot to be anticipatory, if you know what I mean. It was shot to be like, look at them. You know they're going to be in the movie, but not yet. It was really like, it wasn't even filmmaking. It was weird. It really rubbed me the wrong way. So
I also just want to say that clown mask thing, the marionette, that thing doesn't look scary. It looks fucking stupid. I told you, it looks like something from Amazing Digital Circus, which I know that show hadn't come out yet, but it totally has that stupid like Tumblr Hot Topic Tim Burton design.
Yeah, some edgy Tumblr clown.
The first game, it feels like such a world away at this point, because it was such a simple concept. You know, you're stuck in you're trapped in a Chuck E. Cheese with these haunted animatronics, and they're gonna fucking kill you. And you're stuck in one spot, and you look at these screens, and these creatures move, and that was the appeal. And there was some background stuff about like, oh, they move at night and they'll try to stuff you in a suit. That's all you needed.
They get quirky.
That's all you needed to sustain a good horror game. And now they have all this fucking bullshit lore. Some kids get bitten here. Some kids get stabbed there. Some kids go missing here. We got Matthew Lillard in a fursuit. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, people?
Well, I think that Universal is desperately looking for their next horror franchise, and they know that FNAF comes with a lot of lore, a lot of designs. Everything's basically ready to go out of the box. All they have to do is prove that this franchise will make money when it's released in cinemas. And though we did see it in theaters on a cheap Tuesday, so we did contribute to its gross. And in a way, I'm okay with contributing to a new franchise, even if it sucks, because at least it's something new to happen.
I'll watch the third one.
Like,
why not?
Yeah, it's just disappointing because I had higher hopes for this.
And apparently Chica's voiced by Megan Fox now.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Wow,
Did they talk? Since when did they talk?
Since this one.
Fuck. Can we at least get that sexy wolf animatronic in the next movie?
I really thought they were going to tease that at the end of this.
Can we at least get a sexy wolf? Fucking Foxy had stupid clown makeup on in this movie. He didn't look like.
Well,
the
remember,
Foxy
I told you
love.
that the one that people like in this is Bonnie. People like the bunny.
People like Bonnie. I don't see it.
People like the Bonnie.
I don't know. I thought Chica looked hotter than Bonnie.
In this one?
Personally,
the new
yeah.
one? Yeah. And the old designs, I like Freddy and Chica and the old designs.
Well, I love Foxy.
And Foxy, Foxy. I can never forget Foxy.
Don't forget the fox.
Well,
yeah, you're fox-brained.
I'm pretty fox-brained.
Yeah. So yeah, Zootopia 2 was probably the best movie that we saw. Oh yeah, we also watched My Little Pony, the movie.
I bet those are the clowns I ordered! Or definitely not the clowns I ordered.
We won't get too much into that, but
it was
It was pretty good. I used to be a brony. I checked out around season 4, around the time Twilight Sparkle got wings. And
as did I.
Yeah, but it was nice to revisit it. The animation was really nice. It was really smooth. Reminded me of like a Disney Renaissance film in some parts. Yeah, it was just nice seeing the main six again. Seeing Pinkie Pie. She's my girl. That's like a 3.5 stars. I would rather watch the My Little Pony movie again than fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. Or the Frankenstein movie.
Yeah, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah. But, yeah. Next Woke in the West episode in the can.
Yeah, it might be after Christmas. It might be before New Year's. I don't know what is going to happen between now and then. Probably a Venezuela invasion, as we were talking about.
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens. A nice Christmas present for the American public. And another endless war from the peace president. Mm-hmm. We didn't talk about the FIFA Peace Award that they gave to Trump, because obviously it's not news to talk about
a stupid little nothing
fake
story
award made up to make some asshole happy. That's not news.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess have a good holidays, happy Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and Chanukah and I don't know. What else
Merry
is there?
Christmas.
Oh yeah, there's that one too.
Merry Christmas.
Get yourself a Canadian grown Christmas tree. Don't buy any from Oregon or Washington if you can help it.
Who buys real Christmas trees anymore?
I don't know. That's a good question.
My mom just bought a new plastic one.
My family used to buy real ones, but now that, God is
Those
dead.
are so flammable, dude.
Fire.
People used to put candles in those things. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, how fucking stupid are we as
people
a species,
also
man?
used to shotgun mercury shots when they were sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like that guy.
Bingo.
In Frankenstein.
Bingo.
Bingo. If
Bingo.
if you know, you know.
Yeah, that's a reference.
Yeah, anyway.
Walt's reference.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Goodbye to you and yours. Goodbye.
Ho, ho, ho.
Whoa.